It is what it is, you know. That was a shocking element, though. I don't think I've ever seen that, though.
Well, it also if you're an Ambrose fan, you kind of saw it coming because the hug.
Yeah, the hug.
Nah, but not putting the bag over his head, though. The bag over his head.
Oh yeah, not the bag.
But remember, Daniel Bryan's vegan and all that shit, so it's more than just putting the plastic bag over his head. It's plastic.
Daniel Bryan was choking like Joe Burrow choked today.
Hey,
That shit was crazy.
Daniel Bryan won his match yesterday.
Nah, but in fairness though, when it comes to John Moxley and them, like when I saw him like come out, because my whole thing was, if you notice, they always, even though they're still the Blackpool Combat Club, when all of them were like true heels, Daniel Bryan was still a face.
Black people in it, by the way. Blackpool Combat Club, no black people. You know, it's kind of crazy. Kind of wild, if you ask me.
Yeah, crazy. But
they need some color in there. Need some color in there.
When all of them were heels, like when Claudio and all of them were heels, Bryan Danielson was still a white meat baby face over there on Collision.
Yep.
So I was like, the fact that you guys are still a group is, so it's like, it's kind of like the turn that definitely took too long to happen, in my opinion. Like, I just think this should have been happened. But hey, you know what? I think if William Regal was still in the company, I think this feud would have been happening. I think that feud was on the horizon, but William Regal left. I think if that still would have been there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he would have chose Moxley's side.
I forgot Regal was in AEW for a hot second. That was weird.
He was there for, I think, about a year.
He's the reason the Blackpool Combat Club came together.
Yeah.
He's like Edge with the Judgment Day.
There for a cup of coffee. But see, at least Edge had purpose for the Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? It turned out to be good for them.
What up, football beats, go Pats?
William Regal was there. I think he was literally there, and then he disappeared and never showed up again on TV. Like, I don't even remember.
He got taken out by MJF.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, because that's when he was like, when he was about to leave. It was
he got beat down by
because remember, William Regal turned on Danielson.
Yep.
And then MJF just turned right back on him.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that, bro?
Yeah, it was when MJF and Danielson first had their feud for the title, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember that. I just remember William Regal being there and then he was gone, bro. Like he just disappeared.
No. It was at the pay-per-view. I think he turned on Brian.
No, he turned on Brian at the pay-per-view. And then the Dynamite after.
And then
MJF he took the brass knucks and punched him in shit. And then William was gone. He was gone.
All right.
Then he was back in WWE.
Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming through. Everybody here in the chat. Y'all keep blaming y'all can always blame Mo for us being late, bro. You know, he's not here, but it's all good, bro.
Yeah, Mo tried to come into the chat and then he was like, you know what, guys, never mind.
Today we're gonna be doing something a little interesting. Something that I think could be a good topic to talk about. I'm looking at some of these chats. We're gonna discuss WWE GOAT, if there is a WWE GOAT. I think it could depend on eras you're from. We'll discuss everything. If you have a WWE GOAT, we'll break down why you think that person is the GOAT. So it's just a matter of topic of discussions. It was a discussion I was having with somebody, and somebody else brought up to me that he doesn't think there is a such thing as a GOAT because there's different eras for everything, and not every wrestler may be able to face every other wrestler from different eras, you know what I mean? And other people are going to do other things that, are different in the eras that didn't work in certain eras, you know what I mean? So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun topic of discussion. So thank you guys for coming through. You could always leave in the chat as well, act along, you can give your 2 cents in the chat if you want. For the people asking, when the next open mic show that'll be next week. We'll be bringing people on next week when we're doing I don't even remember the name of the damn episode, something about best some of the last decade or some shit like that. But people who wanted to come on, they've been asking me when the next open mic episode is, so that'll be next week. If you guys want to come through and join, make sure you're here next week when we do the open mic, so you guys can get a heads up on that. But we do have 2 guests today. Well, Axe he used to be an OG of the channel, so everybody knows him, but Chris is new to the channel, first time on the channel, so I'll let Chris introduce himself. And then Axe can, if he wants to, he can introduce himself too.
For anybody who doesn't know me, I am Chris. My TikTok is Fatboy Schaefer. I mainly do a lot of comedy content online, but I also am part of the Juiced Up Jobbers with Axe that is also on YouTube. But yeah, I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. I've known Malik and Axe for a really long time. I've known Jade for a while from TikTok, so glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
If you haven't seen Chris's, what is it, white people at the end of movies? Or something, is that what it's called?
It's
so fucking
most
funny.
famous, bro.
So funny.
So I have a question. I have a question that I think we ask pretty much everybody when they come up on the show.
Oh my god!
Are you an Homo sapien?
Oh yes.
Of course.
Ah!
Of course.
You know, Jay, he on the right side. Jay, and G are the only ones who ain't come around yet, man.
He's by himself down there, man.
Well, he out the company, ain't he?
It's hard being on the right
Nope,
side
he's still
of
there.
history, G.
He's still there.
Nah, he's still there. Triple H just don't know what the fuck to do with him.
He's still there.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Don't know how to make money.
Hey, no. He know what to do with him. Keep him off TV. Keep doing that, Triple H.
Nah, MVP said if you don't know how to use Omas, if you can't make money off of Omas, you're a fucking idiot.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro.
Listen, I've said before, I think Omos would be great in like a Titus O'Neil type role because he's got a great personality. I just don't need to see him sandbagging people in the ring. I'm done with it. I'm over it.
Jay.
He's sandbagging. That nigga's like 400 pounds. We talking about sandbagging.
Sandbagging.
Jay, you 100% right. Make him an ambassador, right, and have him slip up under the ring in a Royal Rumble in a non-canon TV show. Absolutely, that's exactly what you can do with Omas.
He's too tall for that. He's gonna have to slip
Too
halfway
tall
up
for that.
Nah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. His time will come. Don't worry. His time will come. So we take it.
Bro,
4 years
wait.
later.
Actually, there was a time where you were right. Believe his time was supposed to come when he was supposed to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and eliminated himself.
You know who won
That's
that?
why they gave it to Bronson Reed.
And look at Bronson.
No, that was before that. We're talking about before.
And then his
Bro,
time was going to come
that
again, and he lost to Seth Rollins. And his time was going to come again, and he lost to
Look
Brock
what he
Lesnar.
did, bro. Exactly. He puts over the people that are going to be stars.
No, I've
Everyone
said
he
it's
put over.
not entirely almost. I don't give a shit about him.
Everyone
But
he's put
I
over.
still don't give a shit about him.
Look at everybody he put over, bro. Brock helped Cody finish the story.
Didn't need it. Seth.
Yeah, he did. He needed the rub, bro. He needed the rub. Brock
I just
needed the rub.
I just don't
He
get
beat
it.
Seth Rollins.
Well,
He beat
welcome
Omas.
to
What did he do the
welcome
next
to the
week?
club, Schaefer.
What did he do
Welcome
next
to the
week?
club.
What did Seth Rollins do the next month after he beat Omas?
World
I
champion.
don't
First
fucking
World Heavyweight
remember.
Champion
It's
of this.
Who cares?
That's
World
No,
champion.
Seth. What did Seth do? He became the world champion, the first champion of this lineage.
Oh, because
And
he
then-
bounced off of Volk.
Because he
That's
beat
the rub. That's the rub.
Omas. He gave him the rub. And then Bronson Reed and Omas saw what was in Bronson Reed. He said Bronson Reed should be pushed. She's a star, and so he lost the battle royal on purpose. Gave it to Bronson Reed, and look at Bronson. It took Triple H a while. Triple H a while to figure it out, but Omas he had to come up to Triple H
I
personally.
used
He
to
was
drive
like, he
myself
said, "Look,
crazy.
Nobody care about that battle royal
or not, but
yeah."
at this point, I'm just sick of talking about it.
No,
That's where my frustration comes.
the battle royal.
And Omas made AJ too.
made AJ Styles. All
Of course,
right.
bro. Of course. Come on now.
AJ didn't do nothing after that WWE title
This,
reign.
this
Almost
is the
revived his
world we
career.
live in. This is the bed we've made.
The Omas rub is real. Y'all gonna realize, bro. The Omas rub is real.
They'll come around someday, bro. Y'all come around someday.
Who won the battle royal at SummerSlam last year that Omas was a part of?
LA Knight.
LA
Hell
Knight.
no.
Look at him now. Look at him now. The Omas rub is real.
Hell no.
Stop playing. The Omas rub is real. Stop playing.
LA Knight. Yeah,
Crazy
come on,
work.
bro.
That's crazy work, Nate.
I would
Oh,
rather
crazy.
watch
I-
CM
I
Punk
give you
call
props
Monday
for the
Night Football
context.
with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh wow.
That's
Hey, for those of you who don't know Jay, that's a lot for him to say.
What does Mo say? In honor of Mo, the new father, type shit. that's
Type
where I'm
shit.
at with it. Type shit.
He'll come around someday, bro. His time will come.
Congratulations, Mo.
Congratulations, Mo.
Yes, sir. Mo is a father now, so that's why he's not here.
I'm sorry, because I know we got to get to what we're talking about. One more thing. Are you a Bret Hart fan?
Ugh.
Yes. Are you a Bret Hart fan?
I
I like this guy. I like this guy.
Yeah, Bret Hart is. We don't hate Bret Hart like that. It's just Mo just likes him a little too much. Just a little too much.
Yeah,
So
I
too
don't
much.
hate Bret Hart, but I am excited to see what he's got to say in this Vince McMahon document.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I will be a Bret Hart man.
He gonna talk about Goldberg somehow. But
Oh yeah, he gonna bring up Goldberg.
somehow, some way.
Goldberg in there somehow.
Everything was fine with Vince until Goldberg speared me in WCW.
He's gonna bring up if he never got screwed, he never got kicked in the head.
That's exactly what he's gonna do.
Exactly.
If I didn't get screwed, I wouldn't got kicked in the head. Would have never happened.
Oh, that's
All right,
I'd still be here today. I'd be the world champion, not Gunther.
He's gonna find a way he's definitely gonna find a way. I definitely wish though there were some people that could have still been around to talk about the documentary because everybody has their different perspectives on Vince and different relationships and stuff. So I don't know if it's gonna be one of them documentaries where it's like, you know, you think they're gonna reveal everything, but then they don't. One of those things, you know what I'm saying? So that's why.
It's not WWE, it's Netflix. So.
Yeah, but still, you know, they still cover things up though, you know. So you know,
Oh, yeah.
I want to see what they who they bring on there.
I wouldn't be surprised if at the end they try to make us feel bad for Vince. Somewhere.
It's looking like it's going to be a bunch of Vince yes men, and that's what I'm scared of. It's just going to be a bunch of.
But that's only
all over there. Well, no, because I think the documentary, especially because it's being done by Netflix, so I know Netflix. It used to be at the top, and then it kind of fell off.
And they got the WWE deal too now. So you know what I'm saying?
But when we talk about Netflix, if anybody knows how they documentaries work, Netflix will talk about some stuff that, you know, you might like. It ain't like what's that Dark Side of the Ring? It might not be like that type level, but they get into it. So they're gonna talk about the good about. They're gonna talk about the good about Vince, and then once we get into that little, you know, the little plot scene, the rising action and climax, we gonna see some names that they not advertising on there. Like
it's gonna be crazy. They even talking about they had a whole thing where they put Benoit in there, bro. I was like, nah, that's crazy. They never talk about him.
Bro. They literally like never mentioned him ever.
Yeah, I've never seen Vince even like speak about him since everything had happened, and then it was never talked about again.
Because I mean, he did a whole dedication episode to Benoit.
That's before everybody knew though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In his mind, he's like, oh yeah, I'm never doing that again because last time I got caught. Like I'm a wait. I might do like a 10 bell salute, but I'm not dedicating a whole episode to you because
they canceled Raw, bro. Like they canceled the whole.
The next time they did that,
anybody could and should.
Oh yeah, Bray Wyatt.
Remember, Vince was dead.
That's the week before he got blown up in the limousine. Remember
the week, and then he just showed up on Raw.
That was literally the week before. So like he just comes back out the next week and says,
that bastard ruined my storyline."
Chris Benoit. And at the time, y'all didn't know. I remember watching Raw. I remember turning on Raw and seeing like the screen, like Benoit, like, you know, the date, and I'm like, what? Like then they had the dedication. I'm like, what the hell, bro? And then the next day, bro, you start to see stuff coming out, and I was like, oh shit. So
you put London on the documentary.
I do wonder if they interviewed Kevin Sullivan though before he passed away. I want to know if he's in there.
That's interesting. Kevin Sullivan.
I forgot he just passed away.
He just passed away. I don't know if you know who Kevin Sullivan is, but he used to date Chris Benoit's wife, and then Chris Benoit basically like kind of took her from Kevin Sullivan.
That was a big part of the story.
And part of the storyline.
But
Kevin wanted that. He wanted like Benoit and Nancy to go out, and
then he took her for real.
But there are people though who believe Kevin Sullivan murdered.
Yeah, right. Kevin,
they think that he was responsible for it because of that situation. So I don't know. I wonder if they interviewed. He just passed away though, so I don't know if they interviewed him before. But
this was made in 2022.
That wasn't true,
But let's dive into the topic of conversation, man. Let's dive into the GOAT conversation. I don't know if you guys
about Tom Brady. Yeah.
I don't know if you.
I'm not gonna lie, Jay. That's dead. But we can talk about that another day. Let's get to it.
That's dead. Okay, move on.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I said. We can get to it another day.
You would have thought Tom Brady was playing today, bro. I'll tell you that for sure. Because I don't know if they were doing out there today. But I don't know if you guys unanimously. I don't know if you guys have a GOAT in your mind, like who you believe the WWE GOAT is, or if you maybe don't believe there is one GOAT, maybe there's multiple GOATs of different eras. That's why we're going to talk about this topic of discussion, because I do see both sides to it. I do understand that eras do play a factor, and that could be basketball, that could be football, that could be wrestling. I mean, that could be anything, you know, boxing. Like eras always play a factor into it, depending on what era you're from, because you always get the OGs before your time will defend their era, things we didn't see, and then of course we're going to defend our era because that's our era that we grew up in. So do you all believe there is such thing as just one GOAT in wrestling, specifically WWE, or is there different eras that makes a GOAT?
No, I have a hard, firm stance on who I believe the GOAT is at this point in time. We can talk about it later, but
I mean, you can say that.
Okay, so here's my thing, because there's a lot of things that I believe if you're going to name one. Because I think saying there isn't one, honestly, is a little bit of a cop-out. Like, because it's opinion, right? I'm not. You're right. When I name my GOAT in a minute, I'm not stating that as fact. It's just based on what I believe goes into making the greatest of all time. When I think about that, this is the person I think of. But what I think about is obviously accomplishments, number one, first and foremost. Number two is longevity. How long did they do it and how dependable were they in doing it? Number three was marketability. How well did they carry the company and how important were they for the company? And when you stack all of that together, in my opinion, there's only one name that comes out at the top, and that's John Cena. John Cena is the GOAT. And because you could throw out other names like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he didn't have the longevity, right?
Right.
You could throw out names like Ric Flair, but he was very selfish and he was very politicized behind the scenes, and he was one of the best.
We're talking WWE too,
of all time, right? So, but if we're just talking WWE, which I take to be the point of today's conversation, John Cena is the greatest WWE wrestler that ever laced up a pair of sneakers. I almost said sneakers. And I don't think it's debatable. You look at everything, the 16 world championships, the Make-A-Wish stuff, the countless movies that he made, the length of time that he did it, the number of WrestleManias that he carried, the matches with The Rock, and later on in his career with The Undertaker and everything. Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, everything. John Cena is the GOAT, and if you're going to try and argue that with me, it's going to take a very, very big argument.
That's a good argument. John Cena definitely is in that conversation, without a doubt. Which is crazy to say now because 10 years ago nobody wanted to put him there because they hated him so much.
Nobody would have said that 10 years ago.
Now he's halfway gone throughout his career as far as like having one foot out the door, one foot in the door still. And he's more beloved now than ever. John Cena is a very good answer. I definitely think people have to understand too, there's different levels to being a great superstar and then being the face of the company. Not everybody's going to get labeled the face of the WWE, right? That doesn't go to everybody. You look at a Triple H, Randy Orton, those guys were great, but they were never really the face of the WWE. You know what I mean? Like they were top guys, but not the face of the company. You know what I mean? So John Cena's a great answer. Nate, what did you want to say? Something you said something about different eras, so I'll let you speak.
I think you can say both. I mean, obviously you can have your GOAT, like who's the greatest of the golden era, greatest of the attitude era, greatest of the ruthless aggression era, who's the greatest right now. But I think you can also say there's collective, like overall the greatest of all time can also be one person as well. Like, I mean, that just goes for basketball, for football, for rap, whatever, movies, whatever. Yeah, you can say this was the greatest movie of the 80s. This is the greatest movie of the 90s. This is the greatest movie of the 2000s. This is the greatest movie of all time. You can say that. Like, I think there's both arguments. So I think we can say, like, who's the best of the Attitude Era. And then we can also just be like, well, but overall, the greatest of all time, my opinion, is John Cena. I mean, what Jade said. The longevity, marketability, the match quality. I mean, a lot of people said Cena can't wrestle for the longest time, but after 06, literally from 06 until like 2017, you can name at least one John Cena match that was a match of the year contender. I don't believe that there was a single year after 2006 that he had dude can't wrestle at all. Like those accusations were made up of people who just wanted to throw everything at Cena because they didn't like him, just because he wasn't Stone Cold, because he wasn't The Rock. That's literally why they didn't like him, because he wasn't the people that they grew up on. Yeah. Or he wasn't Chris Jericho or Christian or whoever the fuck was like the great in-ring technician workhorse, those guys are great, but at the same time, Cena just never, like, he had great matches. He always had great promos. Like his promo ability, his aura has always been there. Like from like I said, 2006 onward, like Cena was a star, and all the hate was like forced. Yeah, he had flaws that he fixed over time, because that's what you do as a performer, as an athlete, whatever. But throughout his career, like when he was the face of WWE, like he was the face, and like he checked literally every single box. Did he have bad storylines? Yes. Were there some corny things that he said? Absolutely. But that had nothing to do with Cena himself most of the time. Like, yeah, him beating Nexus. All right, Cena, you could have did that. But overall, like the bad stuff about Cena was really just the creative. Like a lot of people, his character, I will say he has the most consistent character we've seen, never changed, for good and for bad. I think there should have been a point where his character should have changed, but I understand why they didn't change it. But again, that goes to creative. Everything Cena did, he did it right, and he did it to the best of his ability. He literally carried that company for like 20 years, like for damn near 20 years, like 2006 to like you could say 2017. like he was carrying that shit. Even when they tried to push Roman, they kept going back to Cena. Yeah, they went to Lesnar too, fuck him, but they were constantly reaching back for Cena and he's still today a household name, and they're doing a one last tour of Cena because his name still holds value. He still brings, even though he's not in his prime in ring, he can still create a great story with just promos. He can come back and cut a promo for 4 weeks straight and build an amazing story and have an okay match. He can have an okay match because his body can't do what it used to do.
Yeah,
but the longevity.
I think
I think he's the greatest.
There's a lot of factors that play into it as well. Cena is, like I said, definitely a great answer. I definitely, when you look at eras, everybody can stick out on different eras. To be honest, I mean, like you said, Stone Cold, I think, is in the conversation too, but the longevity hurt him because of the injuries and stuff, so he was never able to reach that peak. I think Rock is probably the biggest star wrestling's ever had when you put in Hollywood and wrestling in general. I mean, the box office value that he brings, he's the biggest star in wrestling history as far as when you combine both. He's created some big matches. Shawn Michaels, obviously, I think he's the greatest performer that WWE's ever had, and he had two different peaks. He had a peak during the 90s and when he was top guy, and then he had a peak where he never even had to really touch a championship, where he could just put on great matches and provide great stories. So everybody has different peaks, and I think if you're going to match longevity and stuff, there's only really one other guy that comes to mind that can really match Cena, and that would be The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. That's the only other guy that can match Cena with the longevity. Taker, ever really the face of WWE? You could probably say no, but greatest character the company's ever seen. The dedication to the character was crazy by itself. Was a real company guy too, dependable, just like Cena. I mean, how many times this guy battled through countless of injuries? How many times did he come back from injuries? Probably even faster than he was supposed to. The WrestleMania streak itself sometimes was even bigger than the world title matches on WrestleMania. So I think if you're going to compare that, I think Taker would be the only guy that could really, man. Of course, the later years, once he got over it and stuff, it was hard to watch because his body was giving out and his heart was still in it. But, obviously his body was fading away. But when you match up Cena as far as longevity, as far as being the company guy, the matches, the accomplishments, I think Taker would honestly be the only other person I would put.
And let me respond to that real quick because Taker is my very close number 2. Undertaker overall is my greatest of all time, if you encapsulate everything into it. But when it comes down to specifically talking about the impact they had on WWE, John Cena edges them out. And there's two things that break the tie for me. Number one, it's the accomplishments. Even with the WrestleMania streak, John Cena just sweeps The Undertaker on accomplishments as far as titles and things like that. And then number two is that even though John Cena is still technically doing stuff right now, when it came to understanding when it was time for him to step aside, he did. And The Undertaker didn't. And ultimately, I believe that it hurt The Undertaker's legacy that he kept coming back for these Saudi Arabia matches, because every time he came back for one, he looked worse than he did before. And it came down to that, and we got the boneyard match or the graveyard match or whatever it was, and that helped a little bit. But that always hurts The Undertaker in my eyes, is that he waited a little bit too long to go away, and that hurts him in my opinion.
Can I comment to that real quick? No, and it's not specifically towards you, Jay, because I get your reasonings and stuff, but it's just like overall, right? I think when you look at how long has The Undertaker been wrestling, or just anybody, if you got a decade, 20 plus years, especially when we talking just WWE,
30 years, bro.
Yeah, so in the same company, right? If you got, because that's what we're talking, all WWE. For me, especially because even though those matches were bad, the Saudi match was bad, and the Roman one, he couldn't move, right? Like, I know it's years after probably when he should have retired, but I just look at that as one match. You know what I mean? The Saudi match is one match. The Roman match is one match. So when you look at those, me personally, I don't hold it against like Taker or just anybody like for them last ones against them too much when I'm ranking all time, because it's kind of like the good outweighs the bad. And for me, especially specifically talking Undertaker, there is way too much good, great, and phenomenal to outweigh that one historically bad. And honestly, Like when I look at that historically bad, I'm not even really putting that on Taker. Like I'm put like, well, the Roman one, yeah, you had a bad hit. The Roman one, yes, you had a bad hit. The Saudi one, that was Kane and Shawn. I put that on Kane and Shawn for real.
To absolve Taker of all guilt in that situation is a little bit off.
Here's the thing. The thing
I don't think it's all. I think he has part to blame, but like I look at Shawn and Kane as the ones, like especially Goldberg. Goldberg to me, that's all Goldberg.
But here's the thing. Goldberg. The issue is Taker. That was his choice. Vince was ready for Taker to retire whenever. It wasn't like Vince was literally like, "You're going to wrestle this match, or I'm never going to like book." Like he wasn't like putting a gun to this man's head. Undertaker was willingly going out there because he never felt like it was the right time. It would be different if Vince was like forcing his man to keep going out there and making it like, "I'm not done with you yet." Damn, like no, like Undertaker willingly would go out there. He had a shitter and he'd be like, "Fuck. All right, now let me do this again like 6 months later and try again." Like he kept doing that. And to me, not knowing when it's time, that affects your legacy. Like, I think in any aspect, like anybody who just like, dude, your time's up. Like a lot of people say like Eminem's the greatest, but then they'll hold like his latest stuff because like it just doesn't hold up. And it's like, dude, like you're not the rapper you used to be. Like for the longest, people was like, all right, bro, it's time. So like it could be the same with wrestling. Like you should know. Like
and I hear y'all's point, and I'm not saying y'all's point is wrong or anything. It's just like for example, even with all that, like obviously I agree with y'all. By the way, Cena is my GOAT because I don't think Cena, in my opinion, has many bad. Like I think he has like a moment or two, but I don't think he's had like a year where I'm like, Cena, come on now. Like that honestly for me, that alone right there is like, boom, you're the GOAT, right? So I agree with you, but let's just say in an alternate universe, we're not talking Cena, right? We're just looking at everybody in general. If I look at most of your, like if you got, because out of Taker's what, 30 years? If we want to count the last 4 because of the one-off that he kept doing, and then I guess his early stuff. Like if I'm looking at 4 or 5 years at a 30, really not holding a lot of weight. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm not going to hold a lot of weight to that when, like, for example, even though Stone Cold, we know what he is. Stone Cold, that beginning, he already had a short peak at as it was, and your beginning was kind of trash. Like, it wasn't all that
like
great.
Roman.
Yeah, like Roman. Like Roman, even though I've been on the camp where, like, that big dog era from once he left the Shield until Tribal Chief, it was really only like 2 for real bad years, like bad ones. Even though I've been in that camp, I also feel y'all on that. We're like, well, it was 2 bad ones, 3 mid to good ones. You had the great stuff with the Shield. Now you got this peak, but you've only been doing this for 10 years. So out of 10 years, you got 2 for sure bad ones, and then the other 2 were kind of questionable for you. Yeah, I'm gonna hold that against you a little more. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get y'all's point on it. Like Jay, that's why I wasn't specifically coming at you. I understand why y'all do that. It's just for me, I gotta look at how much good you have compared to the bad to where if I'm gonna really tax you for your bad. You know what I mean?
I think too. I mean, you see a lot of the greats always, maybe they stick around a little bit too long. I mean, that's all they know. Their heart's in it too much, like when you doing something for so long, your entire pretty much adult life. I mean, it's hard to just walk away from it, and I think Taker, his main issue was not really the money. It was more, I think he knew his matches weren't being good and he wanted to go out and he wanted to outdo himself. Like that match wasn't good. I need to come back and rewrite that. You know what I mean? I need to come back and do a better performance. You know what I mean? I think that was his main issue. And you could say maybe the same for Cena. I mean, Cena hasn't had too many bad matches the last couple of years, but he hasn't won a match in 6 years. Like, been on pretty much of a drought in the last couple of matches. His last couple of appearances really felt weird. Like last year, they kind of just used him in random spots. You know what I mean? Like he kind of was just there and they just kind of threw him wherever. You know what I mean? So it kind of really didn't feel like maybe a big deal.
It was really just a theory match for real. That's really the only like.
Well, Solo too. Are you talking about the bad?
No, the bad. Yeah, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just the theory match and that whole feud because that inevitably ended Theory. Like Theory's done. Like, he still hasn't recovered. But Solo,
still saying like,
yeah,
I don't know. I
don't know. But then like, okay, I'll say it like this: like, does John Cena to y'all still feel like John Cena though? Like that we know. Like when he comes out, like you get excited, but does he still feel like that
Yes.
Yeah, because he killed in that promo. That's all.
In a promo, yes. In a promo, yes.
No, the pro. I'm saying as far as like the pizzazz, like when he has a match, you know, he's
Well, I
advertising.
think.
I still
Well,
feel
I think
that like
not a
I
match.
think if
Not the match.
I think if
because of
Cena,
the
I think if Cena was even, I think if Cena was still there all the time at this age, I think he would feel that way. But at this point, we know Cena just shows when Cena just shows up, it's to put somebody over. But
There's
Cena
also
still
a
feels
big
like Cena.
difference. There's also a big difference between mid matches and dangerously ugly matches, and that's what the Undertaker was consistently throwing out after his first retire. Dangerously ugly against Rusev, dangerously ugly with Goldberg, dangerously ugly in the tag team match with D-Generation X. There's a difference.
Forgot about that Rusev one.
I forgot about the Rusev one. Damn, forgot about the Rusev one. Because who was it supposed to be instead of Rusev? Rusev was the replacement.
Chris Jericho.
No, it was supposed to be Rusev. Then they switched it to Chris Jericho. Then they switched it back to Rusev.
Because Chris Jericho did the Tokyo Dome, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he was in the Royal Rumble anyway, so.
Yeah, that was his last appearance at WWE, the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Saudi. So,
and he said he hated the side note. He said he hated the list gimmick. I don't know why. That shit was amazing. I don't know why he hated it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I think Jericho more so hated it over time, just because, you know, when you do something so good, people just easily just feel like you should go back to it. Like, once you bring that back, he's like, bro. And Jericho's one of those people, like, when you do something, I'm not going back to it type shit. Like, that was that time. Like,
I mean, look
it was
at
good for that time. But
he's had like 7 different gimmicks in there.
Yeah. So that's why he'll never do the same gimmick again. Like, he'll never do the same.
Hi
guys.
But I mean, Jay, you bring up a good point. I mean, Taker did have some very, you know, some very scary matches in that time frame, in that particular time frame. Some other people can talk about. What about Shawn Michaels? We could dive into the Shawn Michaels debate. What do you guys feel like he's in the conversation now? Where you guys rank him? I mean,
he's my number 3 in the
even though he did come back for the Saudi match. I mean, he probably had maybe the best retirement storyline.
I can't hold it against him, because if the rumors were true, 3 million, I'd have took that 3 million too. I'd have took that bitch.
I think everybody got that though. I think all of them got that though.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
but even in that match though, he still looked good in that match.
Can't even blame Taker. 3 million. You got kids. You need to make sure.
Did he though?
He looked good in that match. He looked good.
If we're comparing G, if we're ordering the 4 people that were in that match, and we're saying order these guys and how well they performed, Shawn's number 1. And it's not even close, because Kane was falling all over himself. Undertaker barely looked like he knew where he was. Triple H was winded after his entrance.
Yeah, Triple H got hurt though. Remember?
I actually disagree, because I think Triple H was number 1, because the fact that he was moving like that, when he messed up his pec, was his pec or his shoulder? I think Triple H carried that match. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think Triple H carried that match.
Regardless of the Saudi stuff, Shawn is my number 3. Literally the 2 things again that Cena outweighs. Number 1 is the accomplishments. Michaels did okay for himself. He had a Hall of Fame career. John Cena had 2. He had enough accomplishments for 2 Hall of Fame careers. And then just the break in the middle, the injuries and the politics that Michaels was playing early on. Cena had the one big hiccup moment with the Nexus, but other than that, you didn't really hear about Cena, altering booking plans and things like that. Shawn was doing it all the time early on.
Cena had his little moments. He had his little moments.
Jay, can I ask you a question though?
He had a couple
HBK over Stone Cold.
What's that?
You have HBK over Stone Cold just because of the 2 peaks?
Yeah, because the in-ring ability, and then because of the number of tremendous wrestling matches and not just WrestleMania. I mean, you think about
in general,
it's hard to think about. For instance, it's hard to think about matches that Stone Cold had on Raw, right? And to think about that was a great Raw match. But you think about Shawn Michaels.
Where were you when we had Stunning Steve Austin though?
Your mind immediately goes to HBK versus Shelton Benjamin, and to HBK versus John Cena, and countless great matches. So yeah, Austin's my number 4. We can keep going down the list if you want. But yeah, my top 3 in WWE is Cena, Taker, Shawn.
That's a good
So
four. That's a good
with
four.
your logic, Jade, I understand why you have that. So like because me, I always like, when I argue on other podcasts, I always test logic. So by your logic, all right, cool, no issues. Right.
Shawn Michaels, though, he said something about Cena having 2 Hall of Fame careers. I mean, Shawn Michaels did the same, though. He had 2 peaks in 2 different eras,
No,
so.
I'm talking. I was strictly talking about the number of accomplishments and titles. John Cena won enough for 2 people to have Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah. Obviously, Shawn Michaels has 2 peaks, but the accomplishments wise is not that.
I think too what also helps Shawn's case though too. I mean, you look at his second run, you could say his second run might be better than his first run. And his second run, he never needed to be a champion at all. Never. He came back and won the world title once, but that was only one time, and he had it for a month. He never needed to be the world champion again. All he had to do was put on great matches, which he did every year, especially at WrestleMania, and just put people over or continue to tribute to the show, which he did.
Well, he always
to
had
play devil's
storylines too. Shawn did.
Oh yeah.
Especially during that second run.
Well, yeah, and so what I will say, to play a little devil's advocate, right? Nothing crazy.
I love it.
I
love it. You haven't played in a while, GM.
To play a little devil's advocate, right? I feel like the reason he was able to be able to not need the title and just have good matches is because of his first run. He don't have that first run, and we looking at him in the second run. Yeah, you're gonna have the great matches, but people aren't gonna hold you in high regard. It's the fact that he was what he was in the 90s. Came back and then was able to still have that peak is why we hold him. But like if it would have just been the second one, we kind of
the 90s, he'd be Dolph Ziggler, bro.
Now, why does Dolph Ziggler always have to catch strays on this fucking podcast?
I was gonna say Ricochet with more accomplishments, but you got it.
Don't disrespect him like that. Don't disrespect Shawn.
Oh my God.
Don't disrespect Shawn like that.
Ricochet who could cut a promo. How about that?
I like the Dolph Ziggler comparison better. At least Dolph
Ziggler. Hold on. Would y'all say nostalgia is the biggest factor when it comes to better wrestler?
I think I'm unique. I think I'm uniquely able to answer this because I'm the oldest one here, which Nate reminds me of on a daily basis.
I'm gonna on that too. I'm gonna say yes for me. I'm gonna say
okay. Yes. Well, so for me it's a no because for me the Undertaker is more nostalgic than John Cena because Undertaker was there when I was a little kid watching wrestling. Cena actually kind of ruled the ropes. I kind of took a break after like 2001, and then I didn't really pick it back up until 2008. I took a long break from wrestling when I was in middle school, and so I am much more nostalgic for The Undertaker, and yet I'm still able to set that aside and say, no, John Cena ultimately had the better career. So it's probably going to vary from person to person to answer the question, but for me, I personally,
I'm going to say majority. I mean, nostalgia always plays a factor. I think majority of people always base things off nostalgia. Even though they try not to, sometimes it's hard not to. Like, if you grew up on somebody and that was your idol, it's hard not to put them as your favorite or to put them as the GOAT. I mean, that was your childhood idol. You know what I mean? So, like, you grew up on that person. That could be just for anything, you know? So, I definitely think it does play a factor into that. You know, I mean, it's hard not to. It's hard not to break that nostalgia mold. I mean, nostalgia.
A great example of that. I'm sorry to interrupt, Malik, but a great example of this, if we get back to football for a second, is the people who try to tell me that Patrick Mahomes is not already a top 5 quarterback of all time. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Patrick Mahomes is at least a top 5 quarterback of all time, and maybe more. And then they start, Joe Montana, Steve Young, or even like me, Tom Brady. No, I don't care who did it before. I'm talking about right now. And if you set your nostalgia glasses off to the side for a minute, Patrick Mahomes is a top 5 quarterback who ever lived already at this point. So, yeah, it depends on who you're talking about. Obviously, there's a lot of hate for a guy like Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of hate for a guy like John Cena, or at least there used to be. It just depends on who you're talking about.
Well, actually, Jay, that's a perfect segue because what I was going to say, I think nostalgia absolutely plays into effect to most people. And maybe not everybody on this panel, but to most people.
It does for most people, though.
Because we talk about nostalgia playing a factor. Hey, I'm going to say it again, man. Roman, by the time he's done, is going to be in convos people do not want to hear about.
Hey, bro.
Be in convos people do not want to have that convo.
What did we talk about last week? What was that tweet? That revisionist history tweet? When it was talking about Royal Rumble 2015. It's already started, bro. It's already started.
Yes.
You're like, this crowd sucked. This crowd was stupid.
Yeah. But
all right.
after this little babyface run, I keep telling people, The Rock was in so many people's top 5 for longest. I don't see why Roman can't be in it. Everybody had The Rock in their top 5 for the longest. You couldn't hear
I think a lot of people forget too. Like Rock and Austin pretty much kind of had the same peak. Like they both kind of rose in the same year, and then they left not too long after each other. So they kind of had the same peak.
And so my thing was, if Rock can be in your top 5, why can't Roman? Because we just talk about peak. Because we just talking peak, right?
Yeah.
Roman this peak, and I give him credit for the Shield, because the Shield was
crazy.
The Shield was that was amazing when they broke that up. Like that was one of the more true why would y'all break? Like they hadn't even really got into their baby phase run.
Bro, they was hot. They was hot. They was hot when they
just swept Evolution.
I was there when it happened too, bro. I was there.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I give him a lot of credit for the Shield, and then this peak now, especially this baby phase run he's about to be on. I know they kind of put it on pause because bluntly stated, you lose your uncle and your father in the span of however many months it was. Yeah, I'd take a pause too, right? So I get it. But once he comes back, the match he's gonna have with The Rock, honestly, The Rock. Hey, I'm gonna give The Rock credit. He's gonna establish 2 GOATs. Is 3 really? He's gonna establish 3 GOATs in his career. The Stone Cold feud kind of established Stone Cold as that top notch. I think the Cena feud kind of put Cena finally in that upper echelon tier, and he finna do the same with Roman. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give Rock credit that.
That's the only person he losing to, bro. He's losing to nobody else but Roman.
I think too, if you look at it too, Roman Reigns got 3 Hall of Fame careers, bro. He got the Shield, the Bloodline, and himself. So
regular Roman would be Hall of Fame. It would just be lower tier, but he'd be Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I'm saying he got 3 Hall of Fame careers already. Like he'll be in the Hall of Fame probably 3 times because the Shield's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. The Bloodline itself will probably be in the Hall of Fame.
The Bloodline and then him.
And then him himself, yeah. So he got 3 Hall of Fame.
Dang, and I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good call out, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You could argue each one of them, faction wise. The Shield and the Bloodline can be argued top 5 factions both.
Oh yeah.
I think too. So when you look at the good and bad for Roman, we talk about the bad, right? Like the Shield was really good. He started off because Roman's realistically never really been in a bad spot in the main roster career. He debuted in the Shield. They was hot for 2 years. Immediately after the Shield broke up, he wins the Royal Rumble. He's in the main event of WrestleMania. So they instantly knew that they wanted to make Roman Reigns top guy, right? But the problem is basically what Cody Rhodes is right now, as far as babyface wise, they wanted that to be Roman Reigns. They wanted him to be that belovable babyface that the fans can gravitate towards to and be that superhero. But the fans they weren't feeling it. They rejected it. And the more and more they tried to push it down people's throats, the more and more people continue to hate it. So for years and years. So, I do agree the Big Dog wasn't bad as far as match. He had good matches and stuff. I think the presentation though was you're trying to present him as something that he's just not. He's not that what y'all want him to be. You need to kind of let him be what he needs to be and kind of take that leash off him. And I feel like once the pandemic came around and Roman Reigns was able to finally get off that leash and do something that he knew would work for him, he ain't never looked back. Like I said, we're talking about the peaks. The Roman Reigns peak as far as the Tribal Chief is some of the best storyline stuff I've ever seen. I think he's the greatest world champion WWE's ever had. Just establish himself with that run as champion. I've never seen anything like it, especially with the run that he's had, the years that he had, the shock value, the matches, the character work, the promo ability, help bring others, along the way within the storyline to help uplift them. He checked off every box you could think of. He did it on a full-time and a part-time schedule. And then you brought up now, we haven't seen much of his babyface run, but the 2 appearances that he's had on SmackDown, he hadn't even cut a promo. All he did was come out. He put an Ulu Fowler around his neck and got the biggest pop of the night, bro. Just putting a necklace around his neck, bro. That's all he had to do was put something around his neck, and people literally lost their minds. So,
and also too, the one thing I'll add about Roman, which is why I said maybe not now, but he's going to be in convos that people don't want to talk about yet.
Yeah,
I factor in degree of difficulty. He did it during the pandemic. He was sometimes the only reason people were watching that show.
Yeah, the two things that got me back fully watching WWE around that time was the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Alexa Bliss storyline, and the Bloodlines, the Roman Reigns stuff. I want to see what this is like. So those are the 2 things that caught my attention.
I was watching every week. I'm one of the people that I say, man, I watched every week, even though I didn't want to. I did not miss.
Even 2019.
Even 2019, bro. I watched
yeah,
every week.
rough.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched every week, right?
You're a soldier.
Bro.
Depression, man.
Even though I liked Bray Wyatt, in the immediate of the pandemic, you know, when he came back from Roger, like Mr. Roger to like OG Bray, I loved it when he was feuding with Braun. But man, when Roman came back, but when Roman came back, oh my God, it
was just the way he came back though. We just see Paul Heyman talking like that. To Roman, and it's like it was like, oh, what we doing? Paul Heyman ain't no baby face. What we doing here? Bro.
Even when he came back that night, he was like, he grabbed the title. He was like, "You just a freak in the mask." I'm like,
damn.
Whoa! Hold on, that's the Fiend we talking about.
Hurt me. I was like, no.
Nah, I knew he was gonna act different when I saw them teeth. He got the new teeth.
Yeah.
Soap bars that you got for teeth.
He didn't have to go.
He got the new Hollywood teeth.
He had the full beard this time, not the goatee. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He was jacked too.
No stupid eye things, whatever.
Yeah, he was jacked too.
Because I remember a report though. Well, the reason he kept wearing the vest was because he's a little self-conscious. Because Vince at the time, you know, he didn't. If you wasn't ripped, he didn't want you with no shirt on. Came back with that little gold glove, no shirt. Oh, like,
and he added that back tattoo. I was like, what the fuck, this man? What dude been on, bro? Since he been gone, bro. So I definitely think. I think Roman Reigns is already in combos that people don't want to have him in. Because it's eras though, bro. I think eras play a factor into it. There's sometimes.
Listen, I think play my character to a top and bash Roman, but if you don't think in like 2-3 years he's in these combos, you're stupid.
Yeah, listen, Roman is in my.
Take how you feel about him, all that shit. You're stupid.
Yeah.
Because next to John Cena, that is the only other wrestler that you could go to a store and motherfuckers be like Roman Reigns. That's all they know. That's the only person they know.
Yeah. In my overall top
10,
I've got Roman at number 10. He's got guys like AJ and Sting and Bruno Sammartino ahead of him still, but he's climbing. If we're talking about just WWF, WWE, just hear me out.
Why are we doing this?
If you're
Nate's in Axe's face, bro.
Yeah, he lost me when I heard.
Were you alive?
Disrespect.
Nigga, where's the tape?
But
when I said AJ, when I heard,
do we have tape? Wilt Chamberlain? Hello?
But I think his list. I think his list is strictly just wrestling. I think it's all wrestling.
Let me finish my point. That's not even what we're talking about.
I think his list though is all wrestling.
We're talking. You trying to slide?
Because somebody down below said that Bruno had a better run. I'm like, nigga, were you alive? Did you see it?
Did you see this?
What are you talking about?
They're only looking at the numbers. They're looking at how long he was champion. That's why.
Nigga, you want to watch 45 minutes of bear hugs?
You can disrespect Bruno Sammartino on your own time, Nate. My point is, if we're talking about WWE only, right? The only WWF, only WWE, I hadn't really given it that much thought. But if I have to do it on a whim, Roman might be number 5 already. Maybe number 6. I probably wouldn't have a problem to put Roman top 5 WWE.
He's top 5.
He's pushing top 5. We're talking strictly just WWE.
If you don't mind, can I hear what your actual top 10 was?
You don't want to hear it, bro.
I genuinely want to know.
I remember his top 10, and I made a video, but I was like, bro, what is this? There's people not on this list who need to be on this list.
Someone said Luthes.
Luthes press.
We're done. Pack that.
But I do think Jade's list though is just all of wrestling. It's not just WWE though.
It is. It's across. Yeah, it's everything.
And that's fine.
I can't remember my exact order. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, you don't have to get the order. I just
it's probably on TikTok though. You can go on TikTok.
It's I posted a video 3 years ago. I know I had Flair number 1, Taker, Shawn, John Cena, Stone Cold. And then the bottom 5 is kind of murky. Sammartino's on there somewhere. And then Sting, AJ, Jericho, and I can't remember the 10th. It might have been Brett. I think the 10th was Brett. So yeah, that's my top 10.
His list was wild. Okay.
And now that he says this list, I remember that fucking list, bro.
So no Edge, no Orton, no,
absolutely not.
He don't even got the wrestler. He don't have the Rock. Triple H, you know. So.
I know you watching, bro. We know you watching.
Yeah, Mo, we know you watching.
But I think though, like I said, it's when you think of the Roman Reigns factor, I think what hurts people's soul sometimes is that sometimes there are people who come up and maybe do greater things than their favorites, and they don't want to put that person over their favorites. You know what I mean? And that's with anything though. Like I think that's happens with a lot of factors when it comes to a lot of sports. Is that when somebody did it first or somebody came around first, people feel like, well, they did it first. That means that they're the best. But somebody might come along and do the same thing, but they might have did it better. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a stupid argument. I'm on record on TikTok. That's a stupid argument. Party A did it first, therefore he did it better. That's a stupid argument. I hate that. It gets on my freaking nerves.
Yeah, it's like
it really,
saying Michael
really
Vick is better than Lamar Jackson. Like, bro, stop it.
It really does.
That's that Jackson shit right there.
I don't know. But I mean, it goes into both though. I mean, it goes into both factors though. Like I said, that's why nostalgia is a major key when you talk about these conversations, because I think you can tell certain people who sipping on the nostalgia juice, and then you could tell certain people who could put their bias aside, because if certain people are just putting certain people in certain places, and you're like, all right, I mean, you really think they belong there, or that they just your favorites, and that's why you're putting them there. So there's a difference between having favorites and then putting somebody somewhere where you think belongs in that conversation.
Which I also posted a video around that same time of my top 10 favorites, and it's nowhere close to my top 10 of all time. My top 10 favorites are so different. Dolph is number one. Kofi's on there. Adam Cole's on there. Asuka's on there. DDP is on there. Yeah, it's a pretty eclectic list.
Speaking of favorites, is Keith Lee still on the contract with AEW?
Who knows?
Oh, I don't know.
Can we talk about contract, please? Because I need Bronson Reed versus Keith Lee.
You think he's, bro? I don't know if he's healthy though. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't think he's healthy.
No, I mean, bro, he ain't been healthy for like 2 years, bro. So I wouldn't be sure.
Somebody in the chat, they keep bringing up Randy. So what do you guys think Randy belongs in the conversation?
I think Randy is top 10. Just for
the
same reasons.
No conversation now.
Oh,
go!
Oh, no.
Not go.
Because he doesn't. To me, Randy Orton doesn't have the match quality like all these other guys do, and he doesn't have. It's gonna sound weird, but I don't think he has like the star power that these other guys do. Even though Randy Orton, everybody know the RKO. It's always a meme. Watch out! I think he appeals to the casual, but I don't think he's ever really been.
Here's the thing.
Cena level, Taker level.
They won't. The reason why Cena was the face, like the guy they will always go to, and Randy was always in top programs, and like you always got to have something for Randy Orton to do because it's Randy Orton. But no, like unless people were injured, Orton was never the focal point of the WWE. Unless it was for like the Authority, like he's the big bad villain. Like, okay, this is for like 6 months in 2013 till 2014. Then it's off to Evolution. Then you put over Roman. But with like Cena, obviously, like he still like was a focal point of WWE, and he would like even after the Bray Wyatt stuff, they had something big for him. So Randy he's a big name in top 10, but go. And
Randy suffered from wrestling in the same timeline as John Cena. Honestly, if Randy Orton hadn't wrestled at the same time as John Cena, he'd probably be higher up on the list.
Yeah, I think.
Low-key, I don't know if he would though.
Now you're just talking crazy.
Well. Here's my thing though. If we really think about it, let's really think about it.
I thought about
what
it.
era does Randy Orton like? If he's not in the era of Cena.
You don't think Randy Orton would have killed in the Attitude Era? Menace heel Randy Orton. You don't think?
I was thinking if Cena wasn't wrestling. That's what I was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Take Cena out the original point. If you take Cena out the Root of Aggression era, Randy's definitely the face.
Okay, fair enough.
Rock's gone, and they're not going to invest in Batista. Batista was in his 30s. They're not going to invest in him like they would Cena. Randy was like 24.
Wait, at the time when it was Cena, you don't think at the time when it was Cena, Batista, if Cena's not wrestling,
they would have put they loved Randy. They loved.
I'm not saying they don't. I mean,
if Cena was not there,
they tried to, bro. They worked.
Yeah. I don't. So if
put that world title on him, they take that shit away immediately. Oh no.
If we're taking,
I will say,
Cena off. Then okay.
I will say, especially
that shit the fuck off the screen right now.
Oh my!
You did not stay off the screen to put that as your PFP,
bro. I'm done.
Fucking
Bruno Martino is crazy.
There you go.
1955 right there. 1955.
Why can't I find none of your matches in color, bro? Like, what's going on?
So
Somebody also brought up Triple H. What do you guys have Triple H? What do you guys think?
You know what's so funny about Triple H?
Slightly overrated.
You know what's so funny about Triple H for me? I feel like, and this is gonna sound so nasty, and I don't care. I feel like people are gassing up Triple H more for what he did for NXT than he did as an actual wrestler. That's why I feel like people are hyping him up in these convos because of what he did for NXT, as opposed to what he did as an actual wrestler.
And just to go off of G, look how they're looking at him now with the way he's booking. Now motherfuckers is bashing the shit out of this man, but with the NXT stuff, it's like Triple H, yeah. So,
which he booking the same way. If we keeping it a buck, he booking. He's just not using the people want to see him use. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Right. Bruno, naysayer.
Oh,
Bruno.
My God. Oh my God, Jane. Oh my God, Jane. Oh my God.
Do you think it was popping off, G? You think it was happening?
He don't got the do-rag. He don't got the do-rag. Relax. He got the do-rag.
Yeah, if you got the do-rag, gonna be different.
She thought it was going down.
Jay. I thought we were getting canceled.
I think what holds guys back like the Ortons. You could say maybe the Triple H's too. Like those guys were big stars, but like you said, they were never on the Austin Rock Cena level as far as their star power. Like the people the company centering around, like as the vocal point of the company.
And the thing with Triple H too, if you just remember the Reign of Terror, if you lived through that and watched that, just because of that alone, I can't realistically put him anywhere in my top 5 GOAT conversation.
And a lot of people hold that against him.
But the Reign of Terror, you think it was really that bad?
When the man refused to lose, yes.
And when you look at it yourself,
if you look at one thing I always think back to is that match with Booker T. And that whole build, obviously, creative aside, it's not his fault. But
nah, he had to say in that.
I feel like politics does play a part.
Yeah.
And the whole build-up, we know it had very, very bad undertones.
People
and
like
then
you.
for him to still win, and not only did he still win, he hit his finisher. It took like 26 seconds to make
27 seconds to pin him, yeah.
So everybody was dying for that. That was like a point where everybody was dying for something.
Yeah. And let me build off of that, because here's what knocks Triple H down the list for me is that you remember at the top of the podcast I said that marketability went into it, right?
Yes.
And you cannot ignore that Triple H was in a lot of very problematic storylines. And so you had that, you had the Booker T thing, you had Katie Vick. Not only did you have Katie Vick, but before that, D-Generation X was marching around in blackface in the ring. Before that, Triple H was having women whip out their knockers on live television. I mean, the marketability for Triple H was he literally was in a storyline that he got a woman so pass out drunk that he could marry her through a drive-through. Triple H,
that's Vegas, baby.
Was in a lot of
Okay.
Did you say that?
Not go to WrestleMania in Vegas. Y'all stay away from WrestleMania next year. Y'all stay away.
We're getting canceled today. But anyway, Triple H's marketability was never there because he was always involved in so many problematic storyline elements.
I do agree with Chris' point. I mean, the Reign of Terror had its flaw moments. One thing that really pissed me off about that era, about that Reign of Terror, was pretty much the end of the era. Not much so like the middle and the beginning, but the end of it. I remember vividly. They had Triple H in a triple threat match with Edge and Chris Benoit, and I think Edge had tapped out, and then he got the pin on Benoit as well. So it was like a pinfall submission thing where like it happened at the same time, and Triple H wasn't involved in it, so they had to strip him of the championship, right? So they stripped Triple H. They stripped Triple H of the championship. And then they created that Elimination Chamber match, right? Elimination Chamber, who's going to win the title back? And he just won the fucking title back after they took it from him, like 2 weeks. Like, what was the point of taking it from him? You took it from him only to give it back to him 2 weeks later, bro. Like,
can I add one more thing about Triple H? Why does this man always got to have the longest match at WrestleMania?
Storytelling, man.
And the longest promo.
Storytelling.
Watching this damn match against Batista, and when I tell you nobody wanted to sit through a 35-minute match with these two men, nobody wanted it. And it's been the same. It was the same thing when he faced Roman. If you look back and you Google it,
he had them long ass matches. That's crazy.
Multiple times,
bro. And it's the same.
You get year by year. The last couple of years, the Batista match I actually really liked though. I did like that match. It was very long. I did like.
They could have cut 10 minutes.
Back and watch it on TV. It wasn't bad, but like sitting there, it was fucking boring.
But it's also like this. You're talking about 35, right?
Yeah. It was so long.
Yeah, and it's also you had like fucking 4 hours of wrestling before then. So it's like, who wants to watch it? First of all, who wants to sit through a 30-minute Triple H match in general? But after like 4 hours of wrestling, bro, like
longest entrance, longest.
Yeah, I mean, you got the match with Batista. He had the match with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Those are pretty long too.
I hate that Seth Rollins match. Fuck that match.
The Brock Lesnar match, that was pretty long. The WrestleMania, that one was pretty long. Of course, the Taker match, but the Taker match is slapped though, so those are fine.
Yeah,
the Taker match slapped.
That Randy Orton match, that low key felt long too, bro. That Randy Orton match, bro. That shit felt low key long too.
And you know what's crazy? If you look back at the feuds in NXT, like the big like blood feuds, is basically mirroring his matches because. O'Reilly and Adam Cole, that non-sanction match, I hate that match. It's just 40 minutes, bro. It's just 40 minutes. All his big feuds, the big match is like 40 minutes, bro. Long for no reason. Like, I'm glad we don't have them 40-minute main events no more.
Man, outside, bro.
What's
up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
Love the view. Love the view, you know?
This man literally just had a baby, bro, on this side of the house.
This man had to escape the baby, bro, because
bro,
you're not being no deadbeat allegations.
He is asleep. He cannot be in the house.
Now I got deadbeat allegations.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Looking like Rey Mysterio. Looking like Rey Mysterio.
Hey, hold on.
He's in that house. He can't be here right now.
Hold on.
Anything will wake the baby up, bro. Like he trying to be smart right now.
Yeah.
What's better, Bret Hart as a wrestler or Mo as a dad?
I don't know.
Yo, wait.
Time out.
Yo, Jay just cooked you.
Fuck on that.
from one pops to another. Welcome to the club, nigga.
Someone said Mo in his natural habitat. What does that mean?
That's crazy. That's fucking.
That is.
What does that mean?
I'll say what it
What does
means.
that
We
mean?
might get canceled.
What do you mean by that?
We're on the verge of getting canceled today anyway.
Mo Mysterio? Oh my god.
And you be looking like those deadbeat allegations. What you want to come on for, bro? You got something you want to say? You popped up in here.
He asked.
No, I mean I saw you in the comments, bro. You looking like you was enraged, bro.
Well, first of all, yeah, we got a.
Okay.
Anyway, we got a Bruno enthusiast, like a Vern Gagne enthusiast. What's going on over here, bro? Jade, what's going on, bro?
I mean, he was there for it, right?
Disrespect.
I mean, he was there. He probably was there.
Nah, Bruno deserves
Jade was there for
respect,
Bruno,
but
so
he's
y'all
like
mad.
Wilt Chamberlain, bro. Like he good for his era, but like.
Isn't that
Plumbers.
Kareem? Never mind. We
Oh.
This coming from a Bret enthusiast.
Oh,
We got footage of Kareem's greatness, bro. We got footage of those greatness, bro.
exactly. We
we
ain't got no footage of the 100 points.
I mean,
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. They got a lot of footage from back in those days, but they ain't got no. You got footage
Bro,
from World War.
there
You
was
got footage of
footage
World
of
War II,
Babe
but
Ruth.
no Will Chamberlain 100 point.
There
game.
was
Crazy.
footage of Babe Ruth in the baseball game, but we don't have the 100-point game. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's
That's crazy.
Wild. Mo, so I guess you could throw in the GOAT. Do you believe there is one GOAT, or do you have a GOAT?
I
It's
think
Brett. We know it's good as Brett.
Shut up. I think the only profession that there isn't just one GOAT is football, because there's so many different positions and it's hard to rank those. So wrestling, I definitely do think there is one GOAT. And for me, so I rank WWE and pro wrestling different now that I think about it.
Okay.
In WWE, John Cena is the GOAT to me. But if we do wrestling as a whole, I got Ric Flair number one.
Okay.
That's me too. By the way, I just Googled Bruno Sammartino matches on Google and got 7 results. Y'all naysayers are just lazy.
No,
You
there's
just don't
matches.
look for it.
There's matches.
How many of those matches you watch, Jake? How many of those matches you seen?
Nah, that's true. How many of the matches
All right,
you watch?
Jay. Top 5 Bruno Sammartino matches. Okay? Top 5 Bruno Sammartino.
Give me top 3. Give me a top 3.
Don't look.
Yeah. Give me a top 3. Forget top 5.
I
top
mean,
3.
y'all are acting like I sit around and watch
Oh.
Bruno Sammartino. 4 o'clock.
Because you were there.
Bruno Sammartino match. That's not how it works.
Hey, we don't do that for anybody, though. What do you mean? We don't do that for anybody.
I I just don't understand.
No, Mo, you do it for
a group of highly intelligent wrestling fans as you guys are. The fact that you feel the need for me to defend Bruno Sammartino as an all-time great
He can be
is
top 20.
asinine.
He can be top 20. He can be top 20.
He's top 20.
Look,
He can be
Jay,
top 20.
Hey, Jay, this is all I gotta say.
Where my do-rag?
Hey, Jay, don't let
Upstairs, I think.
Jay, don't let this naysayer up under you, looking like he in his
Just a
natural
naysayer.
habitat, try to come at you for defending
You see
Bruno
Hogan? No,
when
G.
he
Hogan.
is a
G.
Brett fan.
Hogan has striked again.
G.
Hogan.
Hogan.
Oh, wait, Mo, did he? Do I need to tell the chat what you do again? Do I need to tell the chat what you do again, Mo? Did he? Don't do
Bro,
that.
why do hold on, G? Why do we have this beef? Where did this beef even start, bro?
This is your
Because you like
fault.
bread.
This is your fault.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna lie,
You
bro.
gotta
I don't know what's worse. I mean,
Ago.
Bret Hart. I could watch a Bret Hart match though. But I don't know. I can say it's Bruno Sammartino, man. I don't know if I can say the same.
Hey, Chris.
Bro.
You know what, Chris? Since you're new here, and I don't know if you saw it, but let me explain to you why they call me G Hogan. They call me G Hogan
Here we
because
go.
I was rooting for Samoa Joe.
No,
versus
that's
Swerve.
not.
I'll explain exactly what
I
it was.
wanted
You wanted
Samoa Joe to
Hangman
retain.
to hang Swerve. You wanted Hangman.
No, I did not. No, I did not. You're capping crazy. You're capping
insane.
crazy.
I don't think he said
Why are
that.
you lying?
I don't think he
Why are
said
you
that.
lying?
I will
I don't think he said all
Why are
that.
you lying?
I'll
He
go
said
back
you
to
want
that.
Hangman to
I'll
cost
clip-
Swerve
I'll-
title.
I'll clip it right now.
I said
I
because
watched
of
the
Tony
episode back. I'll
Khan's
clip it.
booking. I did not say I wanted
This
to hang.
episode
That's
is
crazy.
wild.
That's
Chris,
insane.
that's ridiculous.
Damn.
Chris,
I
what
think
I
he
said
said
was this is Tony Khan's booking. Because Tony Khan, remember, before
He might have
Keith
said
Lee
that. He
got
might have said
hurt. No, I didn't. Before Keith Lee got hurt, Keith Lee was supposed to be feuding with Swerve. So I was like, Tony Khan has a history of running feuds way longer than they need to. Don't be shocked if Hangman cost Swerve the title versus Samoa Joe. And what
He's
did
telling the
we
truth.
get? And what did we get?
And he was
And
defending
chat
Hulk
dragged
Hogan on here
it.
too. We ain't forget about
And
that.
chat
Defending
dragged
Hulk
it.
Hogan on here too.
I didn't defend Hulk Hogan.
Remember those college games. That's why they call you G Hogan.
No, they
but
call
hey,
me G
but
Hogan
hey.
because I couldn't remember Michael Tarver's name. That's why.
That black guy.
It's more than Michael Tarver too. It's a couple black people.
The MMA bank robber.
It was the hand movement. He said the random black guy. Him.
I'm sorry. Hey, it took everybody else to remember Michael Tarver too.
No,
I remember Michael
Black guy.
Tarver.
That one nigga.
That's crazy work.
No, it didn't.
The black guy in the mask.
Yeah, he just like whatever the black guy's name is. Whatever that black guy's name is. All right, I guess so.
But it started with Samoa Joe, a Pacific Islander.
G Ruckus. They call him G Ruckus again, bro.
With Hangman. His name's Hangman.
So I've been watching
Swerve.
the whole show. I've been watching the whole show, and I just wanted to ask y'all, because even though I know a lot of us don't like him, but the question must be asked: where
Yes,
does Hogan
I know.
rank? Where does Hogan rank for y'all?
Top 40.
That's crazy.
Realistically, Mo, I don't know. If you held a gun to my head and put me on a
He's
freaking-
top 10. He's top 10. He's top 10.
If you put me on a lie
agree.
detector without trolling, top 10, I guess. But
Yeah.
every year that someone else does something good, Hogan goes further down the list.
But
Here's the thing,
But Jay, with your logic, you don't have to.
I was gonna say-
Marketability.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, I was
market
gonna say for
He
the
can,
time
2024.
he wrestled in, Hogan was extremely marketable. Like kids loved. Obviously,
I
we didn't
know.
know what we know now. I know you know, Jay. Like no trolling. Like I know you know, because it's your list. I know what you value, like as a performer, as a wrestler.
Yeah.
So like the kids loved him. He was on every show. Like even if he wasn't in the title picture, like even though he's the bad guy in the '92 Rumble, like he's somehow the good guy. Whatever. Like they loved Hogan. Hogan was their guy. He broke a lot of records. Like that was their guy. And like when he left, that was a huge void they had to fill. Like Lex Luger obviously wasn't it. Like
almost killed WWF.
yeah, it almost killed. Like him leaving was like huge. Like that was like
The problem with Lex Luger
They were
though, is
scrambling.
they gave him a fucking tour only for him not to finish the damn story, and then gave him a celebration like he actually did something. That pissed me off.
Bro, the
They
celebration.
literally gave him an
wild.
entire Lex Luger tour on a bus. Slammed Yokozuna, goes to SummerSlam, wins the match by count out, but doesn't win the championship. And when,
He didn't even try to get him back in the ring.
they gave
Bro,
him a
he didn't
celebration
try.
with balloons and
waving the
confetti.
flag like I did.
He waving the flag, people coming out holding him up like, yeah, you did. He's not a champion. He
It
didn't win
was
anything.
ridiculous.
I'm leaving it
He's
with
not a champion.
something.
That was the problem with Lex Luger. It's like they wanted to pull the trigger, but they didn't. Like they were stalling with him. Like, why you give him an entire tour, and then what makes it even worse is that they had him win by countout, but then they gave him a full celebration, like he actually accomplished something marketable, something big, with balloons, confetti. He got the American flag coming out there. Yeah, I did it, but he didn't win a championship. I don't see a title around his waist. Why are we celebrating?
He didn't even try to get
what is
Yoko
the celebration that we're celebrating? I'm not understanding this. There's no celebration to be celebrated.
I'm not understanding.
So to follow up on Mo and Nate, just to close the book on Hogan, because God knows I don't want to talk about him any longer, and I have to. The things that always hurt Hogan, in my opinion, number one, he was the number one primo example. Not only was he probably the first, but he's probably the worst and best example of backstage politics. He was constantly politicking himself into positions.
But wait. He said he never used script.
He's full of shit. Number
but
two,
he also thinks Chris Benoit is loved in 2024. So.
Yeah, exactly. Number two,
he is. He got those fans out there. He got
number two. Hulk Hogan had a moveset smaller than my dining room table, and everyone keeps telling me, you go to watch his matches in Japan. Okay, then do it when it counts, and he never did.
Jay's on a roll.
Jay, you have to enunciate your words better, Jay.
What did Jay say?
He said dining room table. I thought
you said dining room table. I did not think that was coming out your mouth.
No, he said smaller than my
dining room table.
Y'all children. Oh my.
In your game.
Jay, enunciate, please.
But again, this show was wild today.
Hulk Hogan is like the perfect balance of the good and bad. His impact in wrestling is so big, but then the politics is also very big as well. So it's like it's a 50-50 thing, because it's like without Hogan, where would WWE have gone? We don't know. That's a big mystery question. We don't really know.
Gone.
But then the backstage politics is like, if he didn't have those backstage politics, they could have
WrestleMania
9. Yeah, how much better things could have been too. So it's a balance of both. It's like one of those situations where it's like,
I know that hurts you, Mo. I know it hurts you, bro.
It's like one of those situations where it's like you hate that somebody like that, like a Hulk Hogan, has so much impact on something. You know what I mean? Like you hate that. Like
I hate that it's him.
It's that guy that has that impact. You know
what do you think? What do you think? I forgot your name, dog. What do you think about Hogan? I want to hear Chris. Chris, what you think about Hogan? What you ranking?
Personally, even before all the shit about him, I could not stand Hulk Hogan growing up. I hated Hulk Hogan. But if we're gonna talk about in the GOAT debate, I guess I can't deny the fact that he was the most popular star of the 80s and helped take it to what it became. But he can sit his ass right at 10 if I'm being fair and nice.
Yeah, fuck him. He 11.
Yeah, I
That's so petty.
That's so petty.
That's me with Steph Curry.
He's not even over Omas, bro. Let's keep it a buck. He's not even over Omas.
Well, of course, because
nobody's over Omas. So I mean, what's your
we're having this GOAT debate, but obviously we're being nice, letting Omas.
We didn't want to make the title too long, but the conversation is the GOAT. Besides Omas,
there are actually two people that I definitely want to throw in here that I think if they stayed in WWE longer, they would be in the conversation. That's Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. Even though Brock Lesnar did come back to WWE, but if Brock Lesnar had stayed in WWE throughout the entire time, he top 5. He going on top 5 all time.
Yeah, because the way they were pushing him, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
What he did in 2 years, bro. Royal Rumble win, King of the Ring, WrestleMania main event, 3-time WWE champion, bro. In 2 years, no, he was top.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If Brock stays, does Cena even happen?
I think Cena happened. I think it's more so of like a. I think it's more so of like a Batista,
exactly. Yeah.
Like those guys, because Batista was kind of like the muscle that kind of replaced Brock in that aspect. I think Cena still would have happened. I mean, would he become that?
I think Cena takes that Batista spot. I think he moves down to Batista's spot.
And Kurt Angle definitely too. If Kurt Angle had stayed, I mean, because he had a better career in TNA. So I mean, if he had stayed,
Kurt Angle stayed, he'd been the face of ECW. What are we talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's where he was before he left.
No, but I mean, he would have been a face, but he would have still, like, if he'd have stayed throughout the entire peak, like, imagine what he did in TNA, just in WWE still. Like, oh, come on, bro. Like he.
Can I ask my second devil advocate question of the day?
Here we go.
If Kurt Angle stays in WWE, does he have a better peak than Shawn Michaels' second run?
Ooh.
Probably
on the
not if
feud,
Shawn still
because
gets
Shawn's
those matches
feud.
with the Undertaker.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. Like Shawn was
Fair
still
enough, Jay.
He's
Fair
having
enough.
the rivalry.
Shawn was
is
having
what
crazy
it's-
matches in WWE, bro. Like crazy matches.
No, that's what I'm saying. If Kurt Angle stays, obviously he
But
probably.
Kurt Angle was
goes
having
with
crazy
the
matches in
storyline.
TNA too, though.
No, that's what-
I would maybe say yeah, because honestly, at that point, Shawn Michaels was still one of the best. But when Kurt was in TNA, you could literally say he was the best wrestler in the world. Like he could have been #1 best
You
wrestler.
could
in the world
argue it.
at
Yeah,
that
you
time.
could argue it.
Like
Yeah.
that was a conversation like people were having. Like he's the best wrestler on the face of the earth right now. So
Yeah, because I'm just thinking he might not have the story. Because I think up until this Bloodline story happened, Jade, I think the Undertaker 4-year saga to me was the best story that they'd ever told.
Absolutely.
Mainly them first two, but the next two were also great as well. So obviously, I don't think Kurt Angle has that story, but he probably be like a longer reigning champion, have a couple more accolades under his belt. I think we'd be having a convo. They, especially, honestly, that probably would have been the next Stone Cold The Rock feud. If Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels had been in WWE at the same time, them two, I'm not to the level like popularity. I'm talking like just bitter rival. Or is Cena Randy a better example of that? Cena Randy maybe just like a bitter rival. A bitter rival.
I see what you're saying.
I get what you mean.
There's a lot that goes into Kurt Angle too, though, G. Like, because I guess if you're assuming that he sticks around, you're also assuming that he doesn't continue to have the drug problems that he was having, which is really one of the main reasons why everything went the way that it did. Ultimately, it's probably best for Kurt Angle as a person and for his health that he left WWE. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into
Kurt Angle
it.
did say that. Yeah, he did say this. I forgot about that.
Oh, black.
Sounds like a G quote right there. Sounds like a G quote.
Yeah.
G, I didn't say it this time. See, G, it wasn't me. It was Malik.
That's crazy.
Let's not mention the bestiality sex.
Oh,
okay. Back to Hogan real quick.
Wait, he's not a fan of him.
Damn, that's even better.
Did he lock Booker T wife?
That's what I'm saying. That's what he referred to it as.
That was.
You know what's crazy? You know what's funny?
So
when
bad.
me and Minnie met Kurt, we talked to him about this because she was like, "You were my idol growing up." Well, because she was like, "Oh, you were my idol. Like you were like my father figure growing up. Like even though like you're doing things like bestiality, talking about bestiality, sex." And I was like, "Yeah, that was terrible." He was like, "Yeah, I didn't want it," and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't like it." But I had to say it, obviously.
Minnie is bold. What the? Oh, my God.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he didn't like it, obviously. He had to do it.
I mean, that's not that bad. Going up to Triple H and asking him about his situation, probably worse than that. You got to be bold for that shit.
I mean,
Oh no, I was talking about Triple H's casket match, which what's her name?
With Katie.
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah.
You called it a.
I'll talk to him about the Booker T. You got to be really bold to go to. Bro, imagine if one of us goes up to him, is like, "Hey, bro, so what happened with you and Booker T?"
Like, hey, look. Hey, just let me know. Was it a you decision or a Vince decision? All right, this is
I'm
going
gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him too. I'm like, hey, gotta walk up to him. Like, be honest, bro. You want to bury CM Punk, right? You ain't want to win 90 champions. You didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. He did.
That's obvious. That's obvious.
Oh, yeah, we all know.
Triple H just confirmed that he didn't like CM Punk. He confirmed that.
Triple H is petty.
I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Up until Vince and all that stuff that came out, Triple H rode for that man. Like no BS. Triple H was a rode for Vince like the whole 9 up until the allegations came out. Then
by the way, we're talking about
that's his father-in-law. So
we're talking about guys if they don't leave, where do they fall on the list? And you just said the name, and this is coming from me. If CM Punk gets what he wants, doesn't leave WWE, and CM Punk is probably top 3 WWE at this point. No question about it.
That 7-year gap is
things went the way that they did, and
top
bro,
3.
that's bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Mo. CM Punk was still the biggest star in WWE, like one of the biggest stars for like 5 years after he left.
Yeah, unfortunately.
For like if he could have walked in that company for the first 5 years, he was gone, especially because those were the death
at any point.
Remember, from 14 to 19, that was the death years. He could have
death is like 17. No, 17 to 19.
17.
Yeah.
18, 19.
2016 was
great.
good.
No,
16
2016 was
was
great. 16
SmackDown.
bro. Imagine AJ Styles versus CM Punk in 2016.
Oh yeah.
At
Oh,
WrestleMania. At
That
WrestleMania.
would've-
Oh my god, bro.
Heel
Roman
Punk against
who?
face
Bro, I'm
AJ,
not gonna lie.
bro.
I'm not gonna lie. Bluntly stated, Roman doesn't happen if CM Punk is still there. I'm not gonna lie. Roman doesn't happen.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nah,
They would have
Vince
tried
is in
to.
charge.
No.
Vince is in charge.
No. They
pushed
would have
Punk out the
tried to. Because remember, at one point, Vince didn't have nobody else. Bryan was getting hurt all the time. Seth never really hit that level. You had Brock there, but like it was really Brock and Roman. That's
But
what Vince had.
Daniel Bryan even confirmed though. He said that before he even won the championship that he still told Daniel Bryan said that Vince still told him Roman Reigns still going to be our next championship.
I'm not saying
3 days after he wins the
him.
belt, bro.
Yeah, so that was going to happen no matter what.
I'm not
That's
saying
crazy.
they wouldn't have forced Roman down our throats.
That's crazy.
But I'm saying CM Punk is still there because at the end of the day, even though we could say what we want about how Vince handled him, he couldn't deny CM Punk was still one of their big money.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if CM Punk stays and you get like, and we're talking in the context if CM Punk gets what he wants. If CM Punk just gets that main event, that's the context.
29.
If he just gets that main event, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the medical stuff played into
Roman,
it too, but
maybe Roman still happens, but it's not as hated. He's kind of like,
or it's not as
takes
like
him a
quick.
minute. Yeah, it takes him a minute
push to the moon
because Vince would be like, oh well, I still got Punk. I got AJ now.
Who was the one that couldn't beat Punk though? Like when he faced everyone in the Shield, Roman beat him.
Roman.
Rollins and Ambrose could not.
Roman was the only one that beat him.
Roman beat him, so like that kind of gives you like what G's saying. I mean,
you knew at that moment. Oh yeah, he's the one.
Right, they was playing the seeds with him before that, bro. They was playing the seeds with that. People just weren't looking at it like hindsight, bro. You go back.
No. At the time, as soon as they debuted, you knew Roman was the guy.
You go back to 2013.
You just saw him and it's like, oh yeah, that's a Vince guy right there.
That's a Vince guy.
Yeah.
But they had been grooming him like in little spots people just didn't pay attention to. Like you go back to 2013 Survivor Series, sole survivor of that team eliminated like 4 people, like broke a record. Then the Royal Rumble broke Kane's record in that year. Eliminated the most people.
Yeah.
Then the Shield stood out. First year out of the Shield, bro. You know what I'm saying? Royal Rumble win, WrestleMania main event the next year, bro. Like they would waste no time with him. Like Vince knew he wanted Roman Reigns from the start, bro. Especially if he telling Daniel Bryan a couple of days after he want to make Roman Reigns the next John Cena.
Well, yeah, because he told Daniel Bryan the plan was, which I'm not gonna lie, isn't the worst plan in the world. It's just poorly executed. But after Bryan won that title, I'm not gonna lie, we knew Brock was on the way. We knew it was once Brock because it's the same show.
Brock broke the streak.
We knew it was a matter of time.
The original plan was the original plan. Brock was supposed to what he did to John Cena. That was supposed to be Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Daniel. Yeah.
I'm glad it was Cena though. I'm glad it was Cena because that
it worked better for Cena.
I'm glad.
I think that would have got Brock way more. If he did it to Daniel Bryan, he'd have been so hated, bro. He'd have been so hated.
Ultimate heel. Cena
he became loved because it was Cena.
Yeah, because if he ended the streak and then conquered Daniel Bryan in the same year, the biggest heel.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, low key, that would have made Roman more love too. Because they would have wanted to see him take down Brock. Not gonna lie, that would have made Roman more love.
I think.
Too.
And then the thing with Roman, the problem with Roman was the timing. It was just timing was bad because of the injury he had. I think going into Night of Champions in 2014, that stunted his momentum, and then he comes back and they're like, oh yeah, he's still the same. He's still no, because before that he was getting cheered, and then I don't know. They just. It was just the word.
It's a 2015 Royal Rumble effect, bro. It's just the way they.
That was the fatal blow.
Roman Reigns was always cool until that night. After that night, it was never the same. After that, people never forgot.
Roman Reigns is such a the old thing that if a butterfly flaps its wings, it changes something.
Yeah, butterfly flip.
Roman Reigns is the ultimate butterfly effect. He changed everything with the way that Vince wanted him to be the face of the company. So many guys that could have been something more than they were. So many pay-per-views that would have played out differently. So many WrestleManias that would have played out differently.
And I'm glad that he finally was able to stick up for himself or whatever to do because it took for the pandemic to happen for him to leave and then probably say I'm not coming back.
Because remember, guys, he was supposed to beat Goldberg, and even though Roman had a little bit more oomph to him, we knew he was still a babyface.
To Axel's point, it's insane that the last we saw of Roman Reigns before the Tribal Chief, realistically, he was getting covered in dog food by Constable Corbin on an episode of SmackDown. That's insane.
I almost quit right there.
Who was the last person to pin him at that point before coming back?
And then after, bro, it's crazy because we watched that dog food segment. he finally gets his comeuppance or whatever, and then we're supposed to take him serious against Goldberg.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we're supposed to take him serious again. Because remember, he came out. I'm not gonna lie, Roman. People forget them 2-3 weeks. He was showing a little bit more heelish tendencies.
Yeah.
Because I think he was like,
they had the dog mascot come out to his theme song. Like, ruff, 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 ruff. I'm supposed to take this nigga serious?
It makes you think. It makes you. You talk about that Goldberg feud. Like I noticed he was a little bit more serious. It makes you think. Like if he was really supposed to, like, was that like a heel turn supposed to happen eventually? Right. And they were like, they just did it without the build with the months between. Yeah, it makes you think. Like maybe because like the Fiend was.
There are four, and by the way, the Fiend too. There are 4 people that ultimately benefited from the pandemic. Roman was one of them. Bray was one of them, and then Asuka and Bayley. Everyone else kind of was like middling, trying to figure things out, struggling with it. Those 4.
Oh, and Drew.
Without them, Drew. Okay, Drew top 5. So without those 5, the Thunderdome era might have been.
Roman Reigns he was very smart at leaning towards the pandemic because he was doing things, talking to the camera without the microphone. The entrances where he just kind of looking at the camera and kind of just giving off different vibes. Like he played in different factors that he could use because there was no fans there and everybody can now hear what's going on without an audience being around. So it plays a factor to wonder like what would have happened, because I mean realistically I've always said they only had Goldberg beat the Fiend because they always wanted Roman Reigns to be the champion, but they still were hell bent on that man getting cheered. And if they had Roman Reigns beat the Fiend at WrestleMania, he's getting booed out of that stadium. So who's one other guy that they hate more than Roman Reigns at the time that he could beat at WrestleMania that the fans would actually care about? It's Goldberg. So
you said that before, and it's a great point, Malik.
And that's a good point. 1000%. And one thing that's also underrated that I think helped Roman Reigns a lot is doing that Fast and Furious movie or the Hobbs and Shaw movie, whatever one where he was with The Rock. I think it was Hobbs and Shaw. Him doing that movie, I think he got to actually be around some acting instead of the WWE acting at the time. And I think, like, because you talked about being in a pandemic, well, he started actually articulating stuff. He was talking to the camera. He wasn't loud. He was low. You actually had to pay attention. And his mannerisms, matches too. I think that little couple of weeks he was on set with The Rock and everything, and he kind of saw, this is what real acting's like. Because this was
probably
and he probably got some pointers from The Rock too. Because remember, Rock was Rocky Maivia for the longest, and then when he got hurt, he told Vince, bro, just give me a microphone and let me go out there and talk. Because what we doing right now ain't working. So we gonna need to switch this up.
Like this smiling shit, it ain't hitting, bro.
Let me go out there and let me just do my thing, and it'll work. And then it ended up working. So sometimes no wrestler knows their character better than the wrestler. You know what I mean? The wrestler obviously knows their character the best because they're playing the character. They know what it's going to take. And then booking and writers can help and play a factor into it too. But like nobody can really tell The Rock how to be The Rock. Nobody can tell Stone Cold how to be Stone Cold. Nobody can tell Roman Reigns how to be the Tribal Chief. They know their characters. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to tell Undertaker how to be the Undertaker? You know what I mean? Like you could present it in the beginning, but over the years, once he's done it so long, he knows he knows the Undertaker. You know what I mean? So everybody's going to know their character once they get it. And I think we test to like Roman Reigns was really good at playing that factor as far as when he was able to switch things and make sure that people knew that he was no longer the big dog. What y'all saw those 8 years, I'm not that guy no more. That guy's dead. He's gone. This is a different version of Roman. And that's what made it so interesting because you hated him for so long, but once he started changing things, now you're like, wait a minute, now he's not doing, he's not wearing the vest no more. Now he got the gold glove. Now he's talking trash in his matches, and he had different.
I was so happy
when
he took the vest off. I was so happy.
And when he got that new theme music, it was over. It was over.
Oh, it was like,
Roman versus Bryan, and that theme hit, bro. Oh man.
Yeah. There are. I'm gonna have to jump off here soon, but there are 3 guys I want to throw out that I believe would be a part of this conversation, if not for A, the way they were booked prior to their death, and then B, unfortunately, their untimely death. One of them, I think everyone would agree with. At least I think there's Eddie Guerrero. I think would probably be a part of this conversation. There's one old school guy that I think Nate and I are on the same page on. Mr. Perfect. If he had been booked better, and if he hadn't died so young, he had the opportunity to do it. And then my opinion, I've always held this guy in high regard. I think Owen Hart's trajectory before they put him in the blue blazer costume.
Oh yeah.
And then before he died. If they would have just kept going the way he was going after the feud with his brother, that dude had the mic work, he had the ring work, he had everything. And then they put him in the blue blazer costume, and then ultimately what happened. Yeah. But those three guys, if they had been booked a little bit differently early on, and if they hadn't unfortunately died when they did, could have been a part of this conversation.
Owen's one of those guys that should have been WWE champion at some point.
Yeah,
I don't have an argument for any of the three you said, honestly.
What about another guy I want to throw out there that I think he should get his flowers? Not saying he's in the GOAT conversation, but somebody who's been very consistent in this era too. Seth Rollins, man, is somebody who's been very consistent,
dependable
throughout this era. He's got a lot of accomplishments too. I think Jade brought it up. What hurt Orton, I think, is the same thing that plays Seth Rollins. He's just in the Roman era. You know what I mean? Like he's a part of the Roman Reigns era. Same with Orton. Orton was in the Cena era, and they never were putting Orton as number one. They never put Rollins at number one. Even when the fans wanted Rollins number one, and there were years he was better than Roman Reigns too, it still didn't matter, you know, for Seth Rollins. So, but I mean, you talk about accomplishments, in-ring work, I think he's top 5 best in-ring wrestlers I think I've ever seen, you know, as far as in-ring work. I mean, his in-ring work is tremendous. Character work is top tier as well. I mean, he's been one of the marketable. He's been one of the consistent guys, you know, for the last 10 years you talk about too. So
he fits all my requirements. He's probably I'd probably put him just below Roman, to your point. So I'd probably put Rollins for WWE at number 6. I think I'd put Rollins at number 6. I feel comfortable doing that.
You talk about like after everything, or even like right now. Like
I think
if he had been booked better, I mean,
if Rollins hadn't wrestled at the same time as Roman, he'd probably be top 3 already. The fact that he wrestled at the same time as Roman, again, like Malik said, hurts him a little bit. He's also had some injury problems, right? He's missed a lot of time on a couple of different occasions due to injury. But yeah, even with that, I mean, again, WrestleMania matches, and again, that's another thing that kills him, is that he's had great WrestleMania matches. He hasn't had great WrestleMania main events because Roman has had all of those Mania main events. But one of the best Intercontinental champions we've ever seen. He's a Grand Slam champion, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. Everything. Top 6.
He checks off a lot of boxes. I mean, like I said, maybe the best Money in the Bank cash in for a lot of people.
Yep.
He had a really good IC title run around the time when the IC titles wasn't really that great. The world title run, he helped make the World Heavyweight Championship mean something, what it is now. So he checks off a lot of boxes. I just feel like.
And by the way, we talk about Roman being the only good thing during the pandemic. Seth Rollins was the only good thing in 2018, 2019. He was the only thing that kept people coming back to watch.
Yeah, I'm about to say 2018.
2018, he was carrying.
I'll put it like this, Jade. 2019, after he lost to Brock again. After Brock cashed in on him or whatever.
I mean, Brock is the same thing as Roman, right? If you existed at the same time as Brock,
because it was 3 months, 3 straight pay-per-views of just Baron Corbin, and then they had that, and then the only time Seth Rollins was interesting is when Baron Corbin hit the end of days on Becky Lynch. That was the only time I was
I was gonna say 2019.
That shit's still crazy.
I was gonna say in 2019, Becky Lynch was by far better, more entertaining, more just.
I mean,
that is the only time.
What did the shirt say?
The man's man,
the man's man. Like that's all that needs to be said.
And people talk about, again, it's so interesting with Rollins how it always comes back to Roman, because everyone is always so busy talking about how the shift to the tribal chief saved Roman's career, made him so much better. The shift from what Rollins was doing to Seth freaking Rollins was just as dramatic as the shift from what Roman was doing to the tribal chief. Seth Rollins was very iffy for a while there. And then when he started doing Seth freaking Rollins, the only thing that held him back was that Roman was bogarting both of the titles for 2 years, and there was nothing there for Seth to really capitalize on. So it always comes back to Roman every time with this guy. It's crazy.
I know we're talking about we talked about the men. Are we going to discuss women? Does everybody have anybody got a unanimous? I have in my unanimous.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I was about to say I have.
Don't give me Charlotte. Becky. I don't want. And I'm very adamant. I don't want to hear Charlotte Flair. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it.
Because already over. Becky Lynch is way more marketable than Charlotte, so there's that.
I don't want to hear Charlotte Flair.
I think Becky Lynch just alone, she's the only woman that they could say she was the face of the WWE.
And
Face of
that's
WWE,
exactly
exactly.
what I was about to
Yeah.
say. The only one that has that argument. So
Facts.
I've got Becky. I've got Becky 1. I think I've got Trish Stratus 2 still. I do have Charlotte Flair 3. I mean, her accomplishments and her in-ring work speak for themselves, in my opinion. And then I'd probably have either Bayley or Asuka, number 4. I don't know. That's tough.
are you
But
counting
Bayley and
NXT
Asuka are
NXT?
4A, 4B.
Are you counting
It is
NXT with this,
tough.
by the way? I'm not tripping. I'm just asking.
I count NXT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
NXT
because for a while
yeah.
NXT was the best
then
thing
that
about
helps
WWE.
Asuka.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
I got another question. Do y'all think, because we say Becky now, we all agree it's Becky. Y'all think anybody on this current roster is going to surpass Becky?
Bianca.
No. Oh, Bianca's the
Bianca.
only one that has a chance. Bianca's the
I
only
don't
one
think
that has a
Bianca can
chance to
touch it
me,
unless
but
she
she's
can
not
get that
going
face of
to.
the
She's
company.
not going to.
I
What
think
holds
she
Becky, what holds Becky so high to me?
touch it. She's gonna touch it because right now they're entrusting her to do the Jade shit right now. It could be anybody else, bro. But they know it wouldn't work for anybody else but Bianca. After this shit's done, it'll be back to normal. Trust.
Bianca to me is
I
already
feel
top
like
five.
what really is gonna.
Oh yeah, definitely. I told somebody that they thought I was crazy. I'm like,
I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
well,
I'm
I feel
not
like-
gonna lie.
How? How?
You can argue Bianca top 3 if we really want to have that.
You
conversation.
really
I did that on
You know what's holding her back?
Really
You know what's
could.
holding her back?
People
You know the
go
only thing that's holding her
crazy.
back is longevity. That's the only thing that's holding her back.
That's it.
Facts. And it just
But
takes
like,
time. It just
hey,
talent.
but like low key though, I know we saying longevity, but like realistically, bro, right? And I'm not trying to disrespect nobody because we know what Trish was doing, especially we talk about degree of difficulty. We know what she was doing in that era, so I'm not even really trying to disrespect Trish right here. But Bianca, we talk about she low key got the Brock Lesnar type of immediate impact out the gate.
Oh yeah.
She got the Brock Lesnar, and she's still, bro.
But the
Longest
only
reign-
thing-
longest reign-
Wait. Rhea's already more popular, but yet Bianca was doing the same shit, and where was Rhea? The same place Bianca is. So you can't say more
Rhea-
popular
it
because
took-
when Bianca was the main thing,
So-
what was Rhea doing?
Bro, Rhea
Tag
was
team with
Morgan.
Morgan.
Bro, it took
popularity
Rhea a
though. I
minute,
think
bro.
Rhea does edge out
It's-
popularity though.
Right now.
Right now.
We talk about,
But also marketability. But also marketability. I think Bianca's
That's Bianca. That's
Yeah,
Bianca.
yeah.
Absolutely,
Definitely more
110%. I mean, I literally just watched the episode. She was on Bel Air. She was literally on Bel Air. I literally just watched that
When
episode.
people seen that, I guarantee you more viewers
Bianca
came.
is going to be the most marketable woman in WWE for the next 10 years.
Facts.
She is the new John Cena. She could be
No,
for the
facts.
whole company, to be honest with you.
I believe
Very
she was the only woman there when they did the bell ring for TKO. I think she was the only one there. Besides, like, I don't know if
Yeah.
Stephanie was there, but like as a women's wrestler, she was the only one there.
Yeah,
She's very remarkable. What separates Becky from everybody else though, to me though, is that she's the only woman that can say she was the face of the company. I don't think anybody else is going to touch that. I don't
No,
think
facts.
anybody. I don't
And
think
you know
any
what?
other woman is going to have that.
And
fight.
if you want,
I think what's going to happen is this.
No.
I think this is what we're going to. This is what's going to happen in the next like 5-10 years. We're going to look at Becky the way we look at Stone Cold, great peak, face of the company. We're going to look at Bianca the way we look at John Cena, longevity, marketability,
yeah.
everything else. That's give it time. It's going to take time. It's going to
No,
take
no,
time.
it depends on
Especially-
Becky.
well,
Becky
to
can
add
still
to
come
it-
back.
Becky can always come
Becky-
back.
Hey, no,
She can always come back, but
here's the thing, though, which is why I kind of feel what Nate's saying. Bianca, from the jump, has been in a great
Exactly.
spot. There's
Ran
never
with it.
going to be a time Bianca's not in a good spot. Becky
Facts.
had to struggle for about
She
3
did.
years before she finally became
Remember,
what she became.
Broke
she
the
was a
glass
dancing
ceiling.
leprechaun.
You got if you're going to
Bro,
do that,
I'm not
you
even
gotta-
talking NXT though. I'm not even talking NXT. Just
Even
main
if you're
roster.
gonna-
Even when she was losing to Dana Brooke consistently.
If
She
you're
was
gonna
literally
compare
called the most
that
of
though,
her
if you want to
She was with Adam Rose doing little dumb shit.
if you want to compare that though, you got to compare Becky
You got to
Bianca
give her
to like
flowers, bro.
because Cena struggled too in the beginning. Like Cena wasn't always
True.
John Cena.
Yeah,
right?
but
of course
Cena is
not.
the closest example. Like when we're comparing the women's division, the
Longevity,
closest
that's
example
why.
of hitting the longevity and popularity. Because yes, Cena did
and
struggle.
marketability.
Yeah, marketability too.
Well, then honestly, I would compare it to Roman, bro, because Roman's the same marketability.
Ah,
But Roman had those.
Roman-
He had those bad years. He had those
Yeah,
bad
Roman
years.
had
no, we talking
He
about
taxed him heavy
marketability,
on
bro.
Big
Like
Dog.
Roman Reigns has never been in a bad spot.
We're combining everything. We're combining the fact of marketability. Cena, even though he didn't start off great, he didn't have the lows like that. He was just kind of treading water. And then once he kind of was always on the up
Yeah.
and then stayed there. Whereas Roman, he was up, came down, came back up, and then eventually.
And if we're being honest, longevity for Roman, he unfortunately at this stage of his career he doesn't have it because of all the other factors that he deals with. He's not a full-time wrestler. He's never going to be full-time again. His appearances in the next like 5-10 years are going to be less and less and less. Bianca she started great from the jump and she still has longevity. Like she's basically what Brock Lesnar would have.
And she has basically what for her.
Right, and she's what Brock Lesnar would have been. She's going to be what Brock Lesnar would have been if he would have stayed, in a sense. And obviously not as big as Brock would have been. But like if Brock would have stayed, that's like the push Bianca's getting. Like because they were never going to ease up on Brock. Brock was always going to be in a great position.
We would be talking about Brock as like top 5 lock.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have stopped. Sure. Yeah, but he of course he had that break.
And I'm going to keep throwing out the Becky list. I see y'all throwing out the Rhea stuff in there. And Rhea's great too. And Rhea's going to have longevity too because she's super young. So Rhea's not even in her 30s yet. So she hasn't even reached her peak yet. Bro. Like Rhea's going to be great, but
then you got to look at title reigns too when it comes to that because let's be real.
I think they really have an opportunity on their hands to make an Austin Rock out of Rhea and Bianca.
It's good.
You know what they're waiting on? I think I know what they're waiting on. I think they're waiting on a lot of these women in NXT to come up to fill a lot of the gaps. Because you see what they're doing. Because you saw in 2022 when Bianca was having her great run, Rhea was in the tag division. Now Bianca's in the tag division, but Rhea's like in the world title picture. So I think they're waiting on that roster to really get filled up. They're waiting on like your Lola, so like you can have those because only one can be at the top and the other has to kind of help the rest of the division. But once you fill out the roster with the rest of those NXT girls, it's going to take a while because a lot of them are new. But like once you fill out that roster, then you're going to have like a chance to finally have that.
Remember, Rhea and Bianca were supposed to happen when Rhea first got into the Judgment Day.
Money in the bank, bro. Money in the bank, bro. Like what the fuck?
But
I forgot about that.
Honestly,
I think that's when Rhea had like a heart.
Yeah, she had like a heart issue or something. Yeah, but she was gonna lose that match, and that probably would have hurt her. Like her being injured was probably the best thing. Let me rephrase that. That sounds bad. Obviously, we don't want anybody
a blessing
to
in
get
disguise.
Hurt. Yeah, it's there's the positive you can look at.
It's kind of like Roman. It's kind of like the pandemic for Roman. Yeah. Like you don't obviously you don't want it.
There's gonna be a lot of women too coming up that we're not even talking about right now. The future, we don't even know what's gonna happen.
Jada Parker.
5 years.
I do want to say there's somebody.
Jada Parker and Roxanne are the only ones. I'm not gonna lie. Right now,
I do want to say there's somebody that's constantly lost in these greatest women wrestlers of all time conversations, and that's Mickie James. Talent-wise, she's just as good as Trish and Lita, maybe even better.
It's just the fact that
I think she is better talent-wise.
If WWE would have
accomplishments too.
Facts. If WWE would have used her the way that they used Trish, she would have been undisputed.
They stuck her in shitty storylines.
It's just that at that point,
I can see it. I can really see it.
Piggy James is crazy.
They put her in bad storylines, but she does have the accomplishments, though. She does have the.
Well, I still think Mickie James. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Before these new women came up here, I thought Mickie James was like locked top 3. I always thought it was Mickie. I always thought it was Trish, Lita, Mickie.
Lita and Mickie. That's
but right now, I'm not. And right now, honestly,
what about Mae Young, bro?
Anyways,
all right, that's the Bruno talking.
Yeah, I was about to say. All right, how you gonna hate on Bruno? Mae Young, the Wilt Chamberlain of. Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways.
Crazy talk. Yeah, I feel like that when it comes to the women though, I mean, it's going to be different conversations throughout time because women's wrestling really only started to evolve, about, you could say maybe 9 years ago, and it's still continuing to evolve and get better as time goes. And now when you see what the women are doing in NXT, they're only going to get better from here. So, I mean, the conversation is going to change and vary throughout time. But for me, it's going to be hard for me for somebody to pass up Becky Lynch, just strictly off the impact.
Becky,
Bianca got it.
Bianca would have to have, in my opinion, because I have Bianca at 2 right now. Bianca would have to have
at 2?
A Roman. Yes, I have her at 2 right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like she cleared.
We're talking women.
We're talking women right now. So I'm not saying she cleared nobody. But she had 2 for me right now. Bianca, the only way, in my opinion, she could pass Becky is if she has a Roman Reigns type run, and I don't mean just title run. I'm talking character work, development, That was what she would have to have.
I feel like
what development, G? Like what development do you?
Because when I talk about Roman, it's not that just Roman was a new character. It was also that there was a lot of layers where just Jey Uso saying, "I don't give a damn what the tribal chief's saying." We know, oh, you fucked up. You're cooked. Like Roman is about to get you, right?
Bro, when it's gotta feel
Bianca
like
Belair having because we all know Bianca's at least gonna have one heel run. We're assuming after this Jade.
Absolutely.
We're assuming she's gonna get that one heel run, right?
I still don't think so.
We don't know.
She should. She should.
She's such a good heel.
But even if she doesn't,
go back. If she does that shit in NXT, yes, the character was good, but the mic work was cringe as fuck, bro.
I don't think so. I disagree with that.
And it's also here's the thing. But Axe, here's the thing. That's NXT. That's NXT. You're dealing with a Bianca who's experienced.
Yeah,
oh no, I don't think. I think her character's gonna be. I think her character's gonna be. I'm that bitch. Like.
What
she's trying to do. Like.
She has accomplishments now.
Bianca would be crazy.
Do y'all really see Jade being the babyface though?
Yes,
she could play it. I mean, if Bianca's a good enough heel, I think if Bianca's a good enough heel, she should be able to help elevate.
I think Bianca could be the best heel. I'm better than you. Like I'm better than everybody. Like. And then Jay's like, no, you're not. Like Jay's like
that's what makes the best heels. Heels.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
What makes the best heels are heels that are able to help make top baby faces better baby faces, and I think Bianca could do that. I think she could do that.
She'll do what Sasha did for her. She'll do what Sasha did for her.
But my only thing is the reason why when I say like character development, it obviously ain't got to be Roman Reigns specifically type level, but she's got to have somewhere it's like. She's doing amazing, crazy work. Even in
want cinema.
Yes, almost cinema. That's the only way.
The women need cinema. The women don't have cinema, and I think Bianca's going to be the first to really like. I think Rhea and Liv are kind of in that category.
Yeah,
but the one that like takes the division up is going to be Bianca.
That's what you whatever
they do. And I feel like if
honestly, the only time I ever felt that way was
the
Becky Lynch stuff, bro. The rise of Becky Lynch stuff.
And that's the only way I see her passing Becky Lynch. Right now, for me, if I put my top 5 in order, if I had to put an order to it, it would be Becky 1, Bianca 2, Trish 3. Charlotte 4, because even though we know how that is, I can't take away from that. And then at 5, I low-key struggle all the time with who I want to put there at 5. You can argue Lita. You can argue Mickey. You can argue crap, I'm blanking on her freaking name right now. Bayley. You can argue Bayley. You can argue those 3 for 5. No, she's I'm not even trying to hate right now. She's still the worst 4 horsewoman. So she's not in these top 5.
Oh my goodness!
That's
it sounds crazy when you say it, but I mean,
but like that's to me. This isn't even me trying to hate right now.
She's still working, but she's got work.
She has time to.
She comes back when she comes back to WWE. She'll be able
to run right now.
It just keeps going. It's either Bayley, Mercedes, Bayley. It's like
Becky and Charlotte are the obvious 1 and 2. So
yeah. So, but like I said, I struggle between those 3.
Yeah, Becky's
who I put as 5 because I feel like you said earlier. I think Mickie James always gets underrated, right? I think she always gets kind of forgotten about. Lita was the more popular. Obviously, she got the accomplishments too. And Bayley, I'm not going to lie, I love Bayley's pandemic run. I think that's the best work of her career other than NXT Hugger. I think that's the best work of Bayley's career.
Definitely better than anything now.
Fully agree.
Yeah, so.
But her current run has been.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to give an honorable mention to somebody that probably could have eventually got into this part, but pregnancy and the worst run. That she killing a character. She unfortunately was part of that.
Lacey Evans.
I'm not gonna lie. No. Alexa Bliss had a trajectory.
Really?
Alexa Bliss was on a trajectory.
Her breast.
Character-wise, I agree with you. In ring, she's not there for me to be like.
I also think
it was that match against Bianca that was really like, oh.
Wait,
even before that, I was like,
they gave us the little Scary Movie 3 fight scene.
I think. There's
that's what I'm talking about. The character when she started doing the character, character. It was great during the feud, but when Randy or when Ray went away,
she kept
Reggie smack him. Nia Jax smacked Reggie. I was like,
Bro, making Zelina go down the ladder at the same time instead
The
like
Shayna Baszler feud. Oh my
Egregious.
god!
Yeah, it was all bad. It was
A lot of women I do think could have had better. Like if Asuka had better booking, she could have been in the conversation too.
Oh,
Shayna
100%.
Baszler.
Oscar.
I think if AJ Lee was in a different era, because she was carrying that Divas division badly, bro. Like she was the only thing that Divas division that people cared about for years. If she had been in a different era, she could have been higher too.
AJ Lee, and this is gonna actually sound crazy, but hear me out when I say AJ Lee gets like the Bret Hart type viewpoint, but people like her more. Whereas she was carrying a weak comp division. Like, let's be real, she was carrying a weak comp division, and like before Paige showed up. Like, it was kind of like, the Bella Twins were the Bella Twins, but like,
they weren't there yet. They weren't there
yet. Like
nowhere
Nikki wasn't
near.
really Nikki, so AJ Lee was carrying a weak division, and you had your fake legends like the Natalia and the Tamina.
The fake legends.
Like, and like, people think Alicia Fox. Bro, Alicia Fox was considered a staple. Beth Phoenix is the only one I give.
Ray a legend.
No, Beth Phoenix is the only one I will give. Like,
that's another underrated one.
I'll give her.
Beth Phoenix could have been really good in this era too.
Yeah,
she could be in this era right now and run with it, bro.
Michelle, cool. I'm waiting on you, bro. I'm waiting on you. We didn't have Trish Stratus come back with her. She doesn't even like her colors. We didn't had Lita come back and she got a messed up knee too. Michelle McCool. I just knew we was gonna get a Charlotte Michelle McCool match, and I thought that was gonna cook. I just knew we was getting that feud.
Yeah,
she want to be at home with Mark Calloway.
It was bad. That's her husband,
right?
There, bro.
Can't live her life.
If Undertaker can come back for that Saudi show, Michelle McCool can come back for a Charlotte feud. That's all I'm saying.
I think Michelle McCool understands her. I think Michelle McCool was watching Undertaker all those years. I'm like, yeah.
Bro, she
can actually go.
She can still go. She can still go, but it don't mean she got
She saw Crown Jewel 2018. She said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah, it take a lot to come back, bro. You got trained. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot to process.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Michelle McCool, each Rumble appearance she's had, she's looked like one of the best women in that freaking Rumble.
And that whole match,
she looks on, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know, actually, let me not be.
Probably because she stays in shape, bro.
Bro, I'm just saying. Aaliyah was in the Performance Center for how many years?
All right.
Whoa.
Natalia been consistently training people for how many years?
Relax. All right, relax.
Bro. Yeah, but see, that's
I hope y'all ready for a comeback. I hope y'all ready tomorrow, bro.
Yes, Nate. That's what I tagged you in. When Lyra and Zelina were talking, and they were like, "Oh, it's in Calgary. I know who we could get." I'm like, no way, y'all.
I looked directly at my wife.
Natty Neidhart, baby.
How you feel about that, Chris? How you feel about that?
And Brett's there too.
This is the female Big Show. Do y'all see the pictures of when Natalia was here? She was talking to what's that bitch's name? The leader of the lesbian group.
Yo,
the fuck?
Oh,
what's her name?
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, Sonya Deville. There we go. She was talking to her before. So get ready.
Bitch.
I'm just saying.
That's insane.
Wait. Why can't Trish Stratus come back?
Jade on here almost saying nigga, so let's not.
I'm okay, G. I think I'm okay.
Wait, Nate, you don't want to
but
see.
I'm saying, just get ready. She's gonna help them, but then she's gonna turn on them.
Nate, what's your beef with Trish? I've never understood this. Bro.
She doesn't know her colors. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Trish, she just doesn't have. She's just bad at promo. That's when it comes to me. Her promos are just so bad, bro. Like
bad.
We cooked wrong.
She came back. She came back.
No, they're not just bad. They're terrible.
And she came back. She came back and had some good the Money in the Bank and stuff with Becky. That was cool. The Steel Cage match was great. So she had some good matches, but
the only good one she had.
Her delivery is not good. Her delivery.
It's just hearing her talk, bro.
That was the only one that was good.
How you feel about?
No, she killed the Money in the Bank.
How you feel about Trish? How you feel like Natalia and Trish? Chris,
how do I feel about Trish?
Yeah,
Thank you, Trish.
I feel like when I think about Trish, I feel like nostalgia plays a big factor because she was like one of the only women wrestlers when I was a kid. So I have a lot of love for her, but I also don't rank her very high because
that's fair.
I'm excited anytime she comes around, but I'm not gonna.
What about Natalya?
Say, she's
Excited,
better
huh?
than Becky Lynch, or
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like she could be a solid top 5.
What
Yo, hold on.
I
Hold on. Someone said,
Do you really want her to be top 5 though? Like, if it was up to you, would Trish Stratus be top 5 to you?
If it was up to me, she would probably be 4 or 5. I would personally, I think I have Becky, Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be recency bias, but
No, it's not. It's not. It's true.
Nah, that's not.
And then honestly, if I really think about it, I would definitely put Mickey at 3 for right now. Mainly because I don't know.
Nah, I feel
if
you.
any of y'all know me and some of the stories I told about when I was a kid and the things I would Google on my computer.
That's crazy.
"Oh
work.
goodness
That's crazy
gracious!"
Work. That's crazy work. That's
no,
crazy
I
work.
do want to
That's
highlight
crazy
this
work.
comment real quick. I do want to highlight this comment.
Crazy
Someone
work.
said-
Wait. Before you highlight it, I want to hear the rest of his 5.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's crazy work.
Hey,
What's the rest of your 5, my dog? What's the rest of your 5?
Rest of your 5.
All right, I'll do Becky, Bianca, Mickey. Then I'll do Trish, and then I'll have Bayley.
Ooh, no Charlotte?
Charlotte would be sick. I don't have anything against Charlotte. Don't get me wrong. I think it's just for a while there. She was just shoved down our throats.
Oh yeah,
like Roman was.
Stat patterns.
And so,
I mean,
She definitely was
that
that
video
bad.
recently.
She definitely was that padding.
Someone said Natalya had the charisma of Khali on crack, bro.
Oh Lord!
I'm giving her too much credit, bro. Stop giving her too much credit.
Hey, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Adam Rose got more charisma than Bret Hart, but hey, we move.
Brett lives rent free in your head, bro.
We move.
Hey, at least
Like,
Bret Hart
y'all
has more
say,
charisma than
no,
Jack
hold
Harlow.
on. Y'all say I like Brett too much. I don't even bring him up like that. Y'all do.
Hey, no, you don't bring him up on the show like that.
I don't bring him up in general.
I'm in 2 chats with you, Mo.
Because people bring him up, and I just
Don't let Mo
the
catch
conversation.
You. I'm in a Telegram chat with Mo and an Instagram chat with Mo. Don't let him lie to you, bro.
You're barely in either one, you quack.
No. I just don't be replying all the time, but I observe.
Yeah,
He does like Brett. Yeah, I think the women go conversation is going to develop throughout time. It's gonna change. It may change a lot. People are gonna fluctuate and change, especially like when the next 10 years. I mean, NXT looking crazy right now, so we don't know who's gonna be around.
That women's division is gonna be crazy in the next few years.
Well, this is what I think. Even though Triple H is not gonna do it, I think the women's division would be in much better shape if they scrap the tag titles and just put a mid card. If you scrap the tag titles, I'm okay with a mid card title because I've now seen what it looks like on NXT. I've seen how good it was. They're still telling multiple feuds with and without those titles.
You know what? I think Triple H,
like the Fatal Attraction feuds. You got Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu. Kalani's gonna have hers. Roxanne's gonna have hers. And then you got multiple plate. I mean, I get that.
We talk another goats like next 10 years, but I don't know, bro. I think they about to push Julia like crazy in NXT, bro.
Oh yeah, and Stephanie.
Unfortunately, with Julia and Stephanie, and it's the same. It's not exact same level, but it's kind of how I felt about Ilya. When they get up to the main roster, it's going to take a while. I don't know. Like Ilya, I knew was going to take a while.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I think Julia might.
Because when you're the top, I'm sorry, Nate, just real quick. When you're the top guy, the top woman, they're gonna want you to have to cut promos. Like, even though it's not fair, it's the truth. They're gonna want you to have to cut promos. That's why a guy a girl like Asuka and like they're not ever really gonna be at that level because you got to be able to sell and push your stories. And if they,
but here's the thing, especially because they're about to move to Netflix, which is obviously a subscription, a platform that is anonymous with subtitles. You have subtitles, and Triple H has been cutting these promos. He tried it with Shinsuke. I think he tried it with Dragon Lee. He tried it with like a lot of
EO's done it too.
Yeah, EO too. He's done it with the people obviously English isn't their people who English isn't their first language. They shoot these like very cinematic vignettes, and they cut these promos with subtitles on. The subtitles are like really cool and shit. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think especially with the women's division the way it is. I mean, you can count on one hand how many like people Julia's going to have to surpass. Like she's going to have to surpass like the real competition for her, Bianca, Rhea,
Right now, that's it.
Everyone else, she's gonna outshine. Like
So
the women's division is not stacked like that.
So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree. Like even the subtitle point, that is a good point. But one thing that WWE will do, to sometimes to their detriment, sometimes to their benefit, they still base stuff on how the live crowds are going to react. And that's, I think, what they care about the most. So people that are going to these shows, how they're reacting. Yeah, you could put subtitles on the TV. You can do them little vignettes that they'll play. And I think those are all great. I think you should do them. But especially when we get to the big time money matches, WWE, you could say to a fault of their own or them just being stubborn, they're going to want the face-to-face promo battle that they could put in the WrestleMania promo package. They're gonna that's what they do. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's what they do. And I'm not saying Julia can't be one of the top stars on the main roster. Not saying that at all, because I still believed Asuka could, right? But just knowing how WWE likes to book, that's crazy work. I don't understand what he has to do with this at all. But
wait, what?
Everybody's spamming Penn Balor in the chat, and I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know what he has to do
Why?
with this.
Leave him alone.
Talk about the women's division, but
leave Finn alone.
Nevertheless,
is that Finn Morgan?
Real quick, guys.
So what,
All
Chris?
right, bro.
I gotta bounce, guys. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Of course,
man.
Yes, sir. Plug your stuff one more time so people can follow you.
Oh yeah, guys. Real quick, if you're not following me on TikTok already, follow me at Fatboy Schaefer. It's actually right there on my little screen, and always on YouTube. Go and give us a subscribe at the Juiced Up Jobbers. We also talk a lot of wrestling. I do some really good trivia on that channel. I do.
And y'all think y'all know knowledge, Chris
Another channel I will not be winning trivia on.
I would definitely love to have all you guys on one day and definitely do a trivia with everybody. I think it would be a freaking blast. I could do that. So definitely, if you guys want to do it, let's link up. But definitely, rock on. Have a great rest of your night.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
I appreciate you.
There is a point I wanted to address real quick before we had to get out of here. To go back to the men real quick. The internet needs to stop disrespecting Shawn Michaels, because there's been a lot of shit I've seen recently, whether it's on TikTok, Twitter, wherever we consume wrestling, and I've seen a lot of people just call Shawn Michaels, like all Shawn Michaels does is in-ring work, and it pisses me off so much.
It's the young cats, man.
And it shows me who does. No, G, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'm responding.
Who's your daddy, Toronto? Come on, bro. Let's stop.
Like Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is an elite baby.
That was an elite heel.
He's a great promo. He's a great character worker. If you look at even the last 2 years of his career, the character work that he was putting in, whether it was with Jericho or Taker, Shawn Michaels 100%. He's actually moved up my list recently because I went back and watched a lot of them, because my list was Cena, Taker, Austin, Hogan, and then Michaels. I've moved Hogan down and I moved Michaels up because there's nothing in pro wrestling that he does bad. Zero. There's nothing you need him to do that he couldn't do. He can do everything. Genuinely do everything.
So I'm not disagreeing with you when I turn.
So keep a smile. Can't keep a smile, but
Yeah, couldn't give a smile.
that part is crazy.
But what I was going to say was, when it comes to, so I don't think people. I'm going to argue for the minority side, because me personally, I don't disrespect Shawn Michaels. I know what he is. I know what he
I don't think you do.
I do. I do respect Shawn Michaels. What I don't respect most of the time is when we get into arguments with people about who's Shawn Michaels over, and the only thing they harp on is in-ring.
Yeah, see, that's bad debaters. That's bad debaters.
That is what gets, but that's most of the social media, which is what you were referring to.
Unfortunately.
And that's what I feel like people do. That's what I feel like people do. I feel like they only talk about the in-ring. And then at that point, you know me, I test logic. So at that point, if you're only going to talk about in-ring, well, then are you going to die on the heel? Why is he not over Taker? Why is he not over Cena? Why is he not over Stone Cold? Because the same people that always talk about him, I never hear they put over Stone Cold or Cena or Taker. I never hear him over that, and he cleared them niggas in ring. Like that's why I always test the logic. Because that's most of the time all I ever hear. Right? Yeah. I mean, shoot, we got people arguing Eddie Guerrero being higher than some people just because of in ring. Right? We had a whole disagreement about him being close to Roman because of in ring.
When was this?
On this platform. I could have sworn you was there for it.
Oh yeah.
Eddie and Roman was a conversation.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eddie's a better character worker character worker.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Before 2020, he's a better in-ring performer, I should say. But
but that's my point. Like, that's my point. Like if I always say like, well, why don't you die on the heel? That's why one of the big things that I've been pushing. Okay. If you're gonna talk about Roman longevity, this, that, and the third, don't put Rock in your top 5. And real talk, don't put Stone Cold there if you care about longevity so much. Yeah. Right? Like I think everything needs to be on a weighted scale.
I think in ring, there could be a different list between in ring and just overall. But I mean, Shawn Michaels does have more than in ring stuff, but that's why a lot of people have him as their GOAT is because he was the best in ring wrestler they believe ever. He couldn't have a bad match with anybody, which is not. I mean, I'm not going to dispute that. I think Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like he's number 1 on my list. But then you also still have you got AJ Styles, you got Eddie Guerrero, you got Kurt Angle, you got Kenny Omega and Okada, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins. Like you got a lot of those people too. So a lot of those people are also in those conversations as well. I just feel like Shawn Michaels he did everything so smoothly. Yeah, and he was able to put on a good match with anybody from different sizes, whether they were stronger than him, faster than him, more athletic than him. It didn't matter. And he was able to tell great stories with the matches that he was having. And then he was able to also do it without even, holding a championship for a period of time too. So I feel like Shawn Michaels is the greatest. Hard to do. Yeah, I feel like Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer. I think he's the best wrestler ever as far as in-ring wise. I think he's number 1. But
I've always float between him and Bryan only because me personally, I wasn't on the Bryan wave early. Like I didn't get it at first because I didn't watch anything outside of WWE before 2016. Like I wasn't even on the NXT wave, right? So I didn't get it with Bryan. But once I got it, for me, and it could be like a little personal bias thing, but like once I got it with Bryan, he's one of the few people, like even to this day, I will go back and just watch a match from start to finish. Even just the little beginning, just the holds and stuff. Like I will be so captivated by a Daniel Bryan first minute hold of a match. I will be just captivated by it. One thing that I love that he's been able to do in AEW, I feel like Daniel Bryan doesn't have a finisher, or Bryan Danielson now. I feel like he doesn't have a finisher. I feel like he just wins matches. I've seen so many times Bryan Danielson win a match just because he was working over a certain body part, and that was the submission he decided to use for it. Obviously, he has his bicycle knee. Obviously, he still has his label lock. But I've seen him win so many different matches. I mean, he was winning matches with like a triangle choke after stomping people out in the neck. Like, that's something I feel like when I can believe that you can end a match with any submission.
Whenever,
like, that's why I'm always so captivated by Bryan. That's why he's my 1. But obviously, I'm not going. I mean, sure, I know people that
he's
say
not Rushmore to me too.
I know people that say AJ Styles the GOAT, and I'm not finna argue with you there either. Like,
I was gonna say I have my top 4. My Mount Rushmore would probably be HBK, Eddie, Kurt, and HBK, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and AJ Styles. Those would be my 4.
I would take out Eddie for Bryan, but that's still a great 4.
And I would still have. And you still got Bryan in there. Seth Rollins is in the conversation. I think Kenny Omega, I think, is in that conversation. Yeah. Okada.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, do we honorable mention? Can we give Adam Cole some love?
I don't know if I
put Mount Rushmore.
Can we put him in the same level as Seth Rollins, or can we not do that?
Nah,
I wouldn't put him. No. I think Seth Rollins is better.
And I see Adam Cole, but
that's what I'm saying.
You're talking in-ring wise. You're talking in-ring wise.
Yeah, in-ring. Adam Cole.
Yeah, I still think Seth Rollins is better. Yeah, I wouldn't put him.
Not me. I couldn't. Adam Cole's great, but
peak Adam Cole. Maybe I was just more invested in Adam Cole in his peak.
His character, Adam Cole, Undisputed Era was just amazing. So
Adam Cole.
Shawn. I agree with G what he just said earlier. Shawn, the people that argue for Shawn being the GOAT, all they use is in ring, and like they don't realize he literally does everything perfectly.
Facts.
Outside of the only thing for me that doesn't put him above like a Cena, Austin, or Taker is he doesn't have the impact that those guys have. Now, while Hogan obviously has more impact than Shawn Michaels, there's nothing else he does better than Shawn Michaels.
It's okay. It's okay.
Nothing.
We can tax Hogan though. We don't care about that. Well, hey,
I mean, if I'm being objective, he's still top five.
Mo, you talk about impact. That's why I don't think HBK is going to be over Roman for too much longer. But hey,
so you telling me Roman's going to be top 4?
Because that's where he can be. Absolutely, I think he can be. Absolutely. Honestly, all we're waiting on, and this is what I'm saying. All we're waiting on is the babyface run that we know he's about to have.
Better be good.
That's all we're
waiting.
Better
be good.
Honestly, bro. Be good. Honestly, we're saying it better be good, but like, let's be real. You've even admitted it too. The big dog run, there was really only 2 out of 5 years where it was really bad. The rest was good. Now,
to be honest, though,
now he's actually a good character.
To be honest,
for Roman, bro.
Hold on.
His only good year was 2016.
Hold on. To be honest, though, what he said though, he better be good. There's not much Roman's gonna have to do. He's so over right now. He doesn't have to do much for this to be good. All he has to do is just play his character and just make the story progress and make it good. That's really all he has to do. And have good matches on top of that. But as far as being the babyface, there's really not much he has to do. He already got the reactions from the fans. He's
literally the tribal chief character. Just he's the same character. He's just attacking heels now. And I think that's a great babyface.
Well, actually, it's not even attacking heels. He's just attacking the person who honestly messed up his family. He's still this whole thing. Roman from the start has been about family, keeping the family on top. Jimmy Uso got taken out. Paul Heyman got taken out. He still got some making up to do with Jay, and we know that's coming for War Games. But nevertheless, Roman has always been about family. He was just twisted and delusional when he first started, right? But that's all he's really doing. And when he fights The Rock, it's going to be about family. Once he finishes this solo Rock feud and all that stuff, there's only one thing for him to do after this, and that's beat Seth Rollins. That's the only thing that's left for Roman Reigns to do after this is beat Seth Rollins, right? And he's good. All he can do is just tell stories. All he's got to do is be on TV, and he ain't even got to win them. He can literally do what Shawn Michaels did. Shawn Michaels didn't win every feud. Shawn Michaels didn't win every match, but hey, he was telling great stories and putting on bangers. That's all Roman got to do. Why can't Roman? Because let's be real. I know we talked about Solo, but I'm pretty sure Jacob Fatu was the next one up. I'm pretty sure Jacob Fatu was the next one up.
I already told y'all how it's going to go. I already saw what's going to happen. Solo's going to beat Roman. It's just for Jacob to beat Solo because they're not going to invest in Solo the way they're going to invest in Jacob. There's no way. There's no way, bro. Solo's not ready for that.
Solo, I'm sorry. Solo does not move me, bro.
He has to be Roman for the story, obviously, but after the story,
if he beating Roman though, that's they're gonna do something. He's not just gonna beat Roman.
They're gonna do something for Jacob.
Can I ask you?
They got to do something for Solo too. They can't just beat Roman.
He's gonna beat Roman, do some stuff in the meantime, and then they're gonna feed him to Jacob, and then Jacob's gonna take off, and Solo's gonna rebuild himself because he's not ready. He's not ready for. He's not.
Why do you say he's not ready? Can I ask you a question? Why?
Promo's boring, match is boring, character's boring. Everything about this character is boring. Like, I get his purpose is to be like, oh, you're not Roman Reigns, but that's holding him back so much. So what he needs to do is beat Roman, get some more wins, lose to Jacob, and then outcast, like, get away from the family. He's not become the black sheep of the family. Yeah, he's not a main eventer. He needs to get away from the family. He needs to become the black sheep of the family, like Jacob Fatu was in MLW. Become the black sheep of the family, and then become like this badass solo street fighter that he was in NXT.
And the NXT solo, just that.
That's it. Because this tribal chief shit, it's not working. And it will never work. Because he's just not, that's not his character. It's not what he's good at. It's just, it doesn't work.
Have more on booking and presentation, or you think Solo just never had a chance?
It's a bad character. He's been given a character that he purposefully can't act out, but it's getting to a point where it's like, okay, this is going for so long, and like at a certain point, when you beat Roman, you're that guy, and he can't be that guy with this character. He can be that guy when Roman is around.
Champion.
Yeah, well, he can be that guy. No, I'm talking about tribal chief. Like, he can't be like, I'm the final boss now because I beat Roman Reigns. Like, he can't be that when he beats Roman, he can't be that because he can't live up to that. So that's why he needs to lose to Jacob and then regroup as another character.
So do you think? I'm
I'm
sorry. No, I was just saying. Do you think that maybe it's because they're doing this feud off rip as opposed to maybe giving him some other feuds to do first? Because technically, he's been feuding with Roman since Mania. Technically,
I think it's just
for this for a minute too. Though.
They've been playing the seeds, but it's also just the fact that Roman's shoes are so big to fill, and Solo has not had the build that Cody has had. Like Cody, a lot of people say, "Oh, Cody's boring, Cody's blah blah blah," but Cody's actually like he's fit for that top spot.
Do you feel like Jacob Fatu has had that build? Or like, do you? I mean, obviously we know Jacob Fatu. We know he's going to be a star, but like the only reason why I'm asking because I'm not even necessarily disagreeing with you. I just feel like when I look at it, I just think. Honestly, I feel like this could have been avoided if maybe Solo, because Solo really ain't done nothing. That's the problem. I feel like that's the problem. I feel like this would be better if he'd actually done something.
Because he went from losing 37 matches, he was 0-37 to like telling Jimmy, "Oh, I don't want you in because you don't expect niggas that lose." Nigga, you lost 37 matches since you beat John Cena. You weren't even on WrestleMania. Like you were literally a pawn in the game. Once Rock came in, you were super little, bro. Like the only nigga below you was Jimmy Uso. He was below Roman. He was below Rock. And now all of a sudden, oh, I'm the tribal chief now. And then he gets fed to fucking Cody. Then he goes to Cody. Like no, like if you like what you said, if he would have been built up, like if they would have given him other people, like lower
capitalized off the Cena feud.
Yeah, not even the Cena feud. Not even the Cena feud. If he would have just like
right after that, didn't he lose to LA Knight?
He lost to everybody, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying after WrestleMania, if he would have just like, I'm cutting everything out, I'm creating my own bloodline, and he would have had little small like feuds with like lower guys, like not gone straight to Cody, because that's where they went. They went like to Cody and Randy and KO. If they would, and honestly, if they just would have kept it KO and Randy and somebody else and not Cody, it would have been like they would have kept it like that until SummerSlam. That would have been perfect. That would have been fine because. Beating KO is not it's a big deal, but it's not like, oh my God, like anybody can beat KO these days. Beating Randy's still a big win, but it's not like this monumental win unless you're like really low on the card. Yeah. And then you add somebody else in that feud. That could have been the SummerSlam program. That's what should have been the SummerSlam.
And then it also sucks because he also had no baby faces to go up against.
Yeah, nobody. It's the draft. It's the draft. The way they
unfortunately, a lot of things are going against Solo that like you kind of never had a chance, so we had to do it like this. But like, yeah, no baby faces. Bobby Lashley wasn't even there. Street Profits are attacked. That would have been a great.
That feud was literally right there. That would have been a fantastic feud for him. That would have been fantastic.
You know, shout out to my guy Cam because he does spew a lot of malarkey, but this aged well because when he said it at first, I was pissed off at him when he said it, but he's 100% spot on. And the brand split, because too many times it's not like one brand has enough people to build off of, and then the other brand doesn't. And it's not the concept of the brand split that's not good. It's not the concept because we've obviously seen it work in the ruthless. It's the execution. There you go.
So would you go back to having one world title, or would you still have two world titles? Would you keep the titles the same? It's just like no one's assigned to a certain roster.
Well, or would personally, I wouldn't have two tag team titles. I would have one tag team title because there isn't enough tag teams for two separate divisions.
So then that's fine. I would still say keep the brand split, right? Okay. Because you could still my thing, and this is why I'm always going to reference NXT. I know we've been doing that damn near since 2014, but I'm going to keep referencing them because they are a show that has one world champion, one mid-card champion. Well, now two mid-card champions for the women, right? Because women and men. So they have two main event champions, two mid-card champions, and one set of tag titles. And they are consistently always able to tell good stories across. And you can still, at least for the men, women, hey, we got to get some more depth. For the men, you can definitely still do that. SmackDown is getting better. Andrade, Carmelo, Santos, they got a little mid-card thing brewing. That's getting better. Main event, I mean, Kevin Owens, I guess, is, I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's
on the way to being a heel.
Upper mid-card. Randy's not officially part-time, but he's basically part-time. You know what I mean? So you have that. Yeah. So it's kind of getting better. But what I feel, I think SmackDown needs to be ran like NXT. Have a 15-minute overrun, and you don't need to have everybody on the show every week. You don't. Like NXT doesn't have their people on the show.
Like NXT back in the day, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
I'm
hoping
on the show every week.
Yeah, and I'm hoping because they do it with NXT. I don't know what the deal is with USA for SmackDown. I know Raw probably because like, dude, it's 3 hours. Like, we're not giving you an extra time. But I hope that because SmackDown on Fox ended like 3 minutes early, which I thought was stupid. I was like,
always stupid because Fox loves the commercials before the show.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they can do that. They can give them a 10-15 minute overrun because it's 2 hours and it's US. It's the same network, but USA doesn't do it with Raw, so I don't know if they'll be willing to do it with SmackDown.
It'll be on Friday though, so
probably not.
They used to give them an extra 5 minutes, if y'all remember that.
They used to, yeah. But then Raw got so bad. I think Raw was just bad. They were just like, cut it at 11.
Well, they stopped using the extra 5 minutes. That's what happened. They started ending at 9.
I heard that. I heard that the network just wanted it to end at like 11 sharp. Like at 11, you're done, and that's why like in the Triple H era, like some matches like end and like that's the end of the show. Like they cut it like right immediately. Like Gunther beat Jay and like the show ended like 5 seconds later.
Right away, yeah.
Right away, like literally right away.
We missed the Liv Morgan kiss because it ended right away.
Yeah, and they're like they're very strict. They're like strict on like meeting that time. I don't know what changed. I don't know if it's because the show was so ass. They were like, we're not giving you like 5 minutes anymore, or if it was because like they wanted more commercials.
The overlays, the overlays. I mean, the brand split is just good. It's just they don't execute
the concept is great.
They don't execute it perfectly when it comes to certain things. But
so
I honestly just don't. I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. I just kind of know it is what it is. So I'm just I'm watching it just to watch it because I know the brand split don't mean nothing anymore. It hasn't meant anything for a long time. So
I think it hasn't meant anything ever since. Well, granted, it never has, but
2016.
But for sure, once they stopped doing brand supremacy. I knew. I was like, okay, the brand
even
split
before that, if we're being real,
the brand split. So the way I feel about it, other than NXT, because you can call it a third brand all you want, it's developmental. We know this.
Yep.
Other than NXT, Raw and SmackDown are just 2 shows. It's still continuity. I just see different people.
I think the issue too is when you give the problem SmackDown's having right now is what kind of Raw had a couple years ago. They didn't give too much to Raw and they gave a lot to SmackDown. SmackDown really is just what the Bloodline is doing and who's going to face Cody next. I mean, that's kind of how it feels every week. Like, who's Cody's next challenger and the Bloodline segment. That's the most important storyline they got going on. So, and for a lot of people, that doesn't work for a lot of people because some people don't like Cody as champion. They find him boring. Some people don't like Solo. So, I mean, it kind of goes, hand in hand too. So, I mean, SmackDown, I always said I don't feel like SmackDown is bad. They just don't. They're not better than NXT and Raw, and they didn't get a lot during the draft, which hurt them a lot. Like they only got so many.
Because before this, Raw was the worst.
Like honestly, what they should do,
the best show.
The next Drew McIntyre CM Punk match should be a loser leave Raw match and have that person go to SmackDown. At least add something.
I love that.
That's a great idea.
And they also,
I'm not gonna lie, Drew would be great for SmackDown right now. Drew would be
great.
I don't think CM Punk is.
Yeah, I think Punk's winning the rivalry because I think
either one though. Either guy could. I mean, they had a lot.
And I feel like
that's why I mentioned Drew because I feel like he'd be great.
Like that should be a loser leave Raw because like from a storyline perspective, it's so personal that both guys should not want to be on the sand. It's too big. The locker room is too big for both of us.
And Adam Pearce is going to be tired of this shit.
Yeah, only one of us can be on this brand, man. So
that's actually a great idea.
So I mean, that would loser leaves Raw, and go to SmackDown. Drew could be there. CM Punk could be there. I mean, either one would be fine.
Literally, Drew and Cody.
Yeah, Drew would be great over there.
That would be great.
Punk adds more element.
That's a great filler feud for
Cody.
And
Punk would add more element to star power.
Drew loses again.
Cody there, like that's a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, he's going to lose. Yeah, I mean, it's Cody.
Drew's not winning another world champion for a minute. I hope y'all know that.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him, man.
But it'd be. I mean, he'd be like, "Oh, cool. CM Punk's not going to call."
But it would be. I think it would be Drew though, because I do think
he'll lose anyway.
Drew McIntyre would lose because I do think they're doing CM Punk and Gunther at Survivor Series. So I think that just makes that's the matchup.
Hey, they should do a triple threat where Punk pins.
Do y'all think Seth Rollins is eventually going to come back and call CM Punk that match?
He's coming back for Bronson Reed.
Oh, he better because Bronson Reed literally.
Oh yeah,
he got to get that get back. He got to get his get back on Bronson first.
So wait. Y'all think CM Punk is winning the title?
Or no, I hope so.
No, he's facing
Gunther. He's not winning at all. What the fuck?
Bro.
So okay. So when do y'all?
But I do think. Listen, I
no troll shit. When do y'all think Gunther's
probably
losing?
never.
I think SummerSlam.
He's breaking the record. whatever Seth's record is, he's breaking that. That's his thing.
I'm gonna say I think he's going into SummerSlam next year.
Yeah, but whatever the pay-per-view is after he breaks the record,
I don't think he's losing to anybody at WrestleMania, no matter who he faces. He faces Brock Lesnar. He got to win the match.
Well, of course, Brock Lesnar.
He facing Seth Rollins. He beating Seth Rollins. He facing there's nobody on the Raw to look at right now that they would put him against that I could see him make. Especially
so who is okay? So that's fine. I don't disagree with that, and I don't hate it. So this will be the last question I asked. Then, who is he fighting at Mania?
It's going to be Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar. I think one of those two. I think it's going to be one of those two people.
You don't think CM Punk and Seth is happening at Mania?
No.
Why not?
Things change. I think they're doing different stuff because I think.
But wait, y'all were the same ones who told me that they could stretch out that feud till
Hold on. I don't think
I never said they would. They could, but I don't think they will.
I mean, I think they're obviously going to finish the feud because
they'll
Seth took the bracelet. He hit the GTS. They're going to finish.
I think CM Punk could be a favorite to win the Royal Rumble. That's why I'm saying that. I think he. Could be a favorite to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely in that conversation.
But okay, well, because originally when we had this convo, I was like, I don't know how you're going to stretch this feud all the way to Mania because my whole thing, I thought it was going to be a triple threat of Bad Blood. They did the Bronson Reed because Seth Rollins and CM Punk was squaring up, and Bronson Reed came out and attacked.
I mean, no, that'll happen, but I mean, when you look at
but I'm saying though, I'm saying because this is kind of like they're out. I know Seth is like legit injured. But since this was their out, I think he is going to come back for Bronson. But I don't think Seth is a Triple H continuity guy. I don't think he's going to forget about CM Punk. And
no, they're not done.
You can set up that feud in the Rumble. They've done it.
They could set that up. But I think Gunther is going to be the world champion at WrestleMania.
That's fine.
And I think they're going to do the CM Punk match at Survivor Series. So I don't think that's going to happen at WrestleMania.
So that's fine.
There's only limited people. I mean, obviously the Lesnar matches people talked about, and nobody knows if Lesnar's ever coming back because he kind of does whatever he wants, right? And Triple H has said that if Lesnar wants to come back, the business is always on the table. So I mean, obviously, if he wants to come back, he can. We don't know if he will, but Lesnar just has the power to do whatever he wants to do. And if he does come back, I think that's the only thing people want him to come back and do is the Gunther match. Yeah. So if that could happen, if that doesn't happen, Gunther and Seth Rollins is something that's never happened yet. I think that could be the match. Nobody else, honestly, I see him facing at WrestleMania unless it's those two because I think the Punk match is going to happen. I don't think they're going to do that at Mania again.
I mean,
Drew, they've done that already. Don't see that happening.
In fairness, it could be Bronson Reed.
You think Seth out that long?
No. Because here's the thing.
It's not a WrestleMania.
Bronson Reed. I think it could be if he wins the Seth feud. I think it could be
at WrestleMania.
No, not WrestleMania. No,
Bronson Reed against Gunther after he beat Seth. I think
WrestleMania
World Title match.
No.
Why not?
When you have CM Punk and Seth Rollins on the roster, why would you do?
Bronson would have to win that match.
That's not a WrestleMania match. That's an Elimination Chamber match.
Because I think CM Punk and Seth Rollins are the match for Mania. I've been saying this since.
Then just give Cena to Gunther, bro. Bronson Reed's not. No, I love Bronson. I
don't think Bronson, if he wins the Seth Rollins feud, he wouldn't be in our position as a main eventer.
No,
we talk about business.
He could, but not for if he goes into WrestleMania.
Not a WrestleMania main eventer.
If he goes into WrestleMania,
that wouldn't be the main event, but.
If he goes into WrestleMania,
I don't think it's a WrestleMania World Title match.
If he goes into WrestleMania, he would have to win that match, though. That's the thing.
If you're talking about WrestleMania 42,
is he going to beat Gunther too?
Yes. Okay, I can see WrestleMania because you have another year, but it's like you only have like 6 months to build this guy up. Like, no, he's not
to be a main eventer for WrestleMania.
I don't think that's a bad match for
Elimination Chamber. Absolutely, even Royal Rumble. Absolutely.
But we also have
a better option on the table, though.
Right, when you have Seth Rollins and CM Punk and John Cena.
Obviously, those guys are better options. I'm not disagreeing with that, but they've been trying to get this Seth Rollins CM Punk match since last Mania. I do not think they're going to. It's just how I feel about Rock Roman. I don't think they're going to have another year where they don't do this match, barring injuries. So unless if CM Punk and Seth Rollins get to this Mania both healthy, they're fighting. That's the match. It could be the rubber match. It could be the third one. It could be the first one. I don't care. They're fighting. I don't. They already have that. They already have the out with Seth Rollins being taken off TV. They have the out. They don't even have to touch till the Rumble if they wanted to. So because those two options are off the table, I hear y'all about Brock. I understand y'all with Cena. I really, really do. right? But if we just look at the way the table is set up, obviously Cena's kind of the wild card because we got to see when he actually starts coming back and doing stuff and what he does. But assuming Brock isn't coming back, what else do you like? I don't see what else you do for Gunther. I don't, unless you want to feed Braun Breaker to him, because Braun Breaker would have lost the IC title at that point. But I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I think it's still. I think it's still.
I see it being Cena.
That would be the only. That's the only guy he never. I don't think they've even had a match yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've had a match yet. I don't know if they.
I think if you do Gunther CM Punk a Survivor Series, I think Gunther Rollins could be like a Rumble match. Like I don't see a world, barring injury, Punk and Seth Rollins are not fighting at this year's Mania. I just don't see it.
You know,
like
something
they've been telling this story for too long for them not to do it.
Something I've thought of that they could potentially do, and I don't know how y'all feel about this. Survivor Series, instead of doing the one-on-one Gunther and Punk, if you don't want to do a long Gunther run, but you don't want Gunther to get pinned, you could just do a triple threat where Gunther doesn't get pinned. You could do that, and then have Punk and Rollins as the world title match at WrestleMania. You could do that.
I hear you, and I wouldn't hate that.
I'm worried for Punk. I'm worried for Punk.
I would actually be pretty okay with that, right?
I want it personally, but
I mean, if Punk was to win the world title, Seth, I mean, he could get that because I feel like
that's too short of a reign for Gunther, though.
It is pretty short, but he
I
doesn't.
feel like though. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna try to fit Punk in that main event of WrestleMania next year somehow. Like that's.
And I think that's with Seth.
He's
Rollins.
getting 41 or 42.
That would have to be for the world title, and
I don't think it has to be. I don't think it has to be.
But you also got to factor what other matches happen too. You got Cody and Randy. You got.
And I hear you. I hear you, which is why I do not think CM Punk and Seth Rollins, main event or not, has to be for the world title. I think CM
it doesn't.
I think if you want CM Punk in the main event, I think a blood feud with Seth Rollins could easily suffice that.
Yeah,
Now it won't. Now don't get it twisted. I don't think it will because I'm sorry. It depends on who Cody faces. If Cody is in the same mindset of you, Malik, and he does not face Randy, he just faces, I don't know, a Rumble winner or whatever, then Cody's not main eventing the show. But if Cody is facing Rock, if he's facing Roman, that is the main event of night 2.
Night 2. Yeah.
That is the main event of night 2. So you can fit CM Punk main event night 1 with Seth or Gunther. Either way, I think CM Punk is the main. CM Punk, if we really keep it a buck, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been the main event this year for night 1.
Night 1.
Yeah, we all know that.
Him and Seth. Would have been him and Seth.
Yeah, so I think CM Punk. I don't think they're gonna unless. Again, this could all change because I believe Triple H is willing to adjust unless someone just gets over like Rover. Super hot, can't deny it, Daniel Bryan type hot, whatever the case. All right, cool.
See, my thing is,
I don't see a world where
I don't think they're gonna have two. Assuming Rock and Roman happens, right? That's not gonna have a title involved. I don't see them doing 2 back-to-back main events with no title involved in it, with no world title involved in it.
I think they could because of who the people are in the match. It's CM Punk.
Well, I mean,
they're gonna have to have a world title match in the main event. It's the world title. So
you talking about
whoever wins the Rumble? You know,
41.
Whoever wins the Rumble, I feel like one of them at least has to main event the Mania because we know both of them won't. The men and the women won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like whoever wins the Rumble, one of them got to be in that spot. And realistically, unfortunately for the women,
Rumble to you?
CM Punk is one of my favorites to win the Rumble. He's one of the candidates I think could win the Rumble.
I would have felt you more.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but CM Punk is at the top of the list for me.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, and I would feel you more if.
And he wants the world title. He already been teasing the world. He's teasing the world title right now.
He's one of the best people to never win it. So
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I feel like, again, I'm just looking at it not in the eyes of before, but just looking in the eyes of the landscape now. They've taken Seth Rollins off TV. If Seth Rollins was still on TV and they were doing this feud, I feel you more because I feel like it would have been wrapped up by then. Then you could do because CM Punk, even though he needs I think he should have a Rumble win on his career. His main thing is main event. So you can get there. You could have got there last year without the Rumble win. So I think you can get to the main event of Mania without it. That's his main goal. I think that's the last thing he wants to accomplish, right? I think you can do that without the Rumble. So I think if Seth Rollins wouldn't have been taken off TV, I would feel you a lot more. Because Seth Rollins will be here, I think they're going to cost each other the Rumble. That's how you're going to set up for the Mania match. And so I think the Rumble winner is fighting Cody. Or no, I'm sorry. I think the Rumble winner is fighting Gunther, but I don't think it's going to be the main event because I still think it's Cody and Randy. Until I see otherwise, I think it's Cody Randy for Mania. And I don't think you need, and you do not need to give Randy Orton that Rumble win. You do not.
No, you don't.
You should give him the world title though.
Yeah, I'm on the different. I think
That's Braun Breakers.
I think Punk and Gunther. I mean, that could main event WrestleMania.
SummerSlam 2025.
If they wanted to do Punk and Gunther in the main event of WrestleMania, they could do that.
That could main event night one.
You already see
Easily.
how much they value Gunther, and he hasn't had that on his resume yet too. So that could be something to check off.
He don't lose, man.
It plays different factors. I mean, I guess it depends on what you believe is going to happen. I don't think they're doing Randy and Cody at WrestleMania. I think they're doing John Cena, Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So then that leaves open for what does Cody do? And there's really only many options that he could face. So they have to be Roman, Rock, maybe somebody else that we don't know about yet either. But I guess it would depend on, what lines up and who's going to be where. I mean, Seth Rollins might not even be back for WrestleMania for all we know. He might not, because he came back way too soon this time. You know what I mean? So
which is right. You are right.
I got one question.
Literally a day after I said he's going to be out. I literally said he's going to be out.
I got one question.
Then he came back next night. I was heated.
Y'all really want Cena Randy at WrestleMania?
No,
I don't.
No, I don't.
Thank you. I don't at all.
I do.
That's
I want it in general.
That's a Saudi match. That's the definition of a Saudi match.
No, you can do that SummerSlam.
No, absolutely not. It needs to happen.
No, honestly, I don't want it at SummerSlam either.
If it's not gonna, if it's for me,
it could happen at SummerSlam.
For me,
it could, but I don't want it to, bro.
For me, because there's been a couple of times they should have had that match at WrestleMania 1-on-1, and they didn't do it. They could have had it at 24, but then they added Triple H to it. They had triple threat. They could have did it at 33, but then they decided to have Cena lose the title to Bray Wyatt, and they did Orton versus Bray Wyatt, and then they had Cena in that mixed tag team match. So they could have did that year too. But for me, just based off of the feud, and we know it's going to be Cena's last WrestleMania. If it's not going to happen at WrestleMania, I don't want to see it. If it's not going to happen at WrestleMania, I don't want it at all. So it has to happen at WrestleMania.
The thing for me though is
they've never had that 1-on-1 match at WrestleMania. So it's like if it's that's like the nostalgia. That's like the nostalgia match that we get for that WrestleMania.
And I hear you. I really, really do. I'm not gonna trip if it's on Mania. I get it. But man, Mo, I'm with you, bro. I don't think that match is gonna be good. It's gonna be extra long.
Bro,
it's gonna be extra long for no reason.
Wasn't good.
Bro, it's gonna be extra.
I'm not saying it will be good. It's just
bro. But I don't, bro. If they put it on,
it's the build. It's
bro,
the build.
If you put
the build would be elite. The build will be elite.
If you put it on Mania, you know they're going like 35, 40 minutes.
Oh,
I don't want to see that.
They're not going.
I don't want to see that, bro.
They're not going that long. John Cena can't.
Bro, the first 5 to 10 minutes are just gonna be them looking at the crowd, letting the crowd applaud.
Holy shit!
This is awesome.
It'll go about a good 15 minutes.
And then guess what? You're gonna get a Randy Orton headlock for 5 straight minutes, bro. That match is not gonna be good.
Ooh, bro.
Oh, so Cena Orton part like 1,200.
No. If we gonna see Cena do anything at Mania, right? I felt
that's the only person I want to see John Cena face at WrestleMania. Honestly,
that's just for the nostalgia.
I want to see Gunther, bro.
I want to see him go against Braun Breaker. I want to see him.
No, that's his last match. That's his last match.
You want him to die?
Oh,
that's his last match.
Oh, that's
his last match.
Last match.
That's his last. Yeah, that's the nigga that's going to take.
I feel like John Cena's last WrestleMania needs to be
long-term storytelling. Hey, long-term storytelling. John Cena was there at NXT for Carmelo Hayes.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
I feel like John Cena's last run needs to be a mix of nostalgia, where you can build him up a little bit at least, but also help others along the way. I feel like the beginning of his run needs to be something strong because he hasn't done anything or won anything in the last 6 years. This WrestleMania, I think he needs to win his last WrestleMania. And Randy Orton, somebody he can beat because that's a legend, and that wouldn't be a burial for some people. You know what I mean? Like he could beat a legend like Randy Orton. That would be fine. Build him up a little bit, and then once you start getting towards the middle, like a SummerSlam, that's when you get like the Braun Breakers, the Gunthers, like all those matches that he could help. It's just when he puts people over this time, it has to be. You actually have to have a plan for them. Like, don't have an Austin Theory where like he beats him and it means nothing. Like this John Cena we're talking about.
Hey, so look, I just thought of a great idea. Hey, look, I know we talk about Cena Randy, but you want Cena win his last WrestleMania, somebody he can beat, but you also want to get the most people invested in the most heat possible. John Cena versus Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Oh, okay.
Versus Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Not at
Why
Mania.
not?
I will say
That could be a
Ooh.
pay-per-view match. That could be a pay-per-view match.
That's
but not
a
Mania
B level pay-per-view. That would cook.
That's like
Especially
that's,
like with the Judgment
how I
Day.
feel about
Bank.
that. How I feel about
Money in
that
the
is
Bank.
how I feel about Austin Theory and John Cena. That's not a WrestleMania match, bro. That's not a WrestleMania.
At all.
I hate it when they did Cena versus Theory. Like, that's not a WrestleMania match, but they're doing it
I
anyway.
mean, Dom has more heat than Austin Theory, obviously, but
And Dom is way better than Theory too.
Hey, and don't let Dom win
Clears.
that IC title in a multi-man match where Braun Breaker don't have to get pinned. Don't let him win that IC title in a multi-man match. Don't let him win that title in a multi-man match where Braun doesn't have to get pinned.
But no, honestly, if they wanted to do
my
that,
God.
they could. If they wanted to have Braun lose that way, you could have Dom win it, and then Cena could win it to have the Grand Slam, and then Braun could
Grand
beat Cena
Slam.
for the title. And then
Yeah,
Braun could win it from Cena.
exactly. See the vision.
Oh.
Triple H. Come
And
on,
that would be
man.
something they could do
I
too. Like
personally-
that could be
I
something they
wanna
could
see
do
numbers
right
from
there.
the
Dom can win the IC title in a ladder match. Dom can win the IC title in a ladder match. Six-man ladder match.
cooking today.
Honestly, it don't even have to be a lot.
Six-man
It could just be like it could be a triple threat. It could be a fatal four-way. Somebody he just don't.
No,
can
yeah,
pin somebody
but
up.
Dom Mysterio still has to pin somebody, and depending on who
An
you have
IC
in that
title
match,
ladder
I'd
match?
rather
That's an
them
easy
win.
fix though. All you have to do is have like Braun spear somebody look like he's gonna win. Dom come in, throw him out of the ring, and then he just
No, you're
The
right.
old
You're right.
wrestling
pin right on top.
You're
1,
right.
2, 3.
But the view of Liv Morgan and Dom Mysterio climb up that ladder to win that title. Oh my God, I love the heat.
The
I love
heat.
The
The
heat.
heat.
But I feel I don't know. That's just what I see doing. I feel like kind of like the Cody situation. When you look at Cena's matchup, I feel like that's just the match they're gonna the people are gonna want to demand. Like when that buzz starts to come, they're gonna want to see Cena versus Orton or Cena versus Punk. But I think Punk is gonna be doing something bigger. You know what I mean? Like Punk is gonna be chasing that
They'll do
world
it.
title. At
I
that
think
time.
Randy gonna be doing something bigger. I think he's gonna be
I
fighting
hope
for that
so.
Universal title.
I need Cody Randy at this year. Bro,
Bro,
my vision
honestly,
is
if
Randy Orton
you-
beating Cody
bro,
Rhodes. That's my
If
vision.
it wasn't
That's my
the
one vision.
SummerSlam, bro,
That'll happen. Just won't happen at
Since
WrestleMania.
they decided not to do Cody
We'll see.
Randy at SummerSlam, just knowing how Triple H books, main roster, not even NXT, main roster, knowing how that man likes to book, there's no way that's not, especially after he had that little convo where he literally told Cody, hey man, I'm gonna always have your back. Right? When people come after you,
we
I'm
know
a
that's coming.
bro,
We know
bro,
that's coming.
but because it wasn't a SummerSlam and they're still doing the solo feud, I think they're just biding time. They're just biding time till we get to the Mania build. I don't even think that's gonna be the first match. I think it might be the last one, right? Like that might be the second one because I don't see Randy Orton getting pinned twice, right? So I mean 3 times, so it'll happen twice. But that'll be the last one after like you know what I mean? Because the first one can be Cody Randy is like kind of how we did with Kevin. He give because remember side note we also have the Kevin Hill turn feud as well. But it can be like he fought Randy because you helped me out with the bloodline, so I got you.
Right.
Randy kick him in the head after he lose.
Yeah, I feel like I think they're doing Cena versus Orton. So I mean, Cody's they could do Cody versus Orton, which would be fine. That'd be a great match. But I'm still thinking it's gonna be if you smell. It's happening, bro. I'm saying, bro. That's the there, bro.
I'm not gonna believe it. I'm never gonna believe that, bro. I promise.
I don't see how, bro. I don't see how,
versus
bro. It's
Rock?
right
Who
there,
said I
man.
need
It's
Cody versus
literally
Rock?
right there.
No, that's at the Rumble. That's at
Text
the
that
Rumble.
person. Text that person. Get him out the chat. We don't need Cody Rock. Get out of here.
No, we'll know about after Survivor Series. We'll know the vibes.
Yeah, bro. We'll know how, bro, because Cody's gonna be on Team Roman.
We'll know the vibes. He might be.
That would be wild. That would be wild.
Why would it be though? Like realistically, it makes sense.
No, just them two. It does make
It
sense.
does, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that.
Why not? We saw The Rock and John Cena team up in the middle.
Bro,
of
if we
a
do
feud.
Cody Rock, bro,
Why can't
Jake
Cody and
has
Rock
no
be in
problem.
War Games?
Nobody wanted that either. I definitely didn't want that either. So I don't know why they would do that. So I don't want to see.
You
I don't want to
want
see
You
Cody.
don't want that?
No, especially
I'm
when
fine with
isn't
that.
R-Truth two guys that
Hey,
I kinda
they
want
were
Cody away
main
from the
event guys
bloodline,
at the
to be
time.
honest.
R-Truth was a main eventer at the
they
time.
was, but like that's how weak that roster was at the time. It had to be.
I want Cody away from the bloodline, to be completely honest.
Well,
I don't want him away from the. I don't mind him in the bloodline story because it makes sense what they're doing. I'm all about storytelling. So as long as it makes sense, it's cool with me. But it's just like teaming up with Roman though. I feel like that. I don't want to see that. Bro.
They're two baby faces now. Can they coexist? I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be the can they coexist storyline. Even in Triple H's reign as booking the show, they have not been able to get away from that. Can they coexist? That is the story they are going to tell for War Games. The baby faces are going to win. The Rock is going to come out and really challenge Cody after that. Roman's going to look like, I don't know. That's when we're gonna find out Roman was really behind Rock was really behind the new bloodline. Then Roman's gonna cost Rock at the Rumble. That's how we set up Roman for Mania Night 2, 41 in Vegas. I have the bulletproof plan. You can't mess this up. Let's just get it out the way so we can get the Rock out of here.
Rock gonna come back,
Roman can
right?
start
But he's
doing
like,
other
If
stuff.
they do Cody Rock, get that man Cody an asthma pump because that carry job gonna be crazy.
Hey, who is that? Kaya? When we see Cody Rhodes with the rest of the baby faces on Team War Games for Roman, come back to me, gang. Don't hide from this chat. I'm gonna remember you. I'm gonna remember you. Because what else is Cody gonna do at War Games?
I already said what he gonna do. I think he could do
Bro,
it.
Nate literally said
that's
it
what I
best.
said. He gonna defend the title against Randy Orton, bro. That's what I said.
No, Nate literally said it best. Nate
Who
literally
else he
said
gonna
it
face?
best.
He beat everybody.
Kevin.
Bro, Nate literally said it best.
He already been out of there, bro. You going?
Bro, Nate literally said it best.
Get him out of
They're
there.
going to have 2 War Games matches on this show. They are not going to put a world title match in between. I don't think they've done it even in the history of War Games. I think they've done it once, maybe.
That's true. They did literally 2019. They did the Adam Cole match the next night on Survivor Series. That is true.
Yeah. But that wasn't a world title. That was NXT. That was like lower end.
I count that as a world title. I don't care.
They did it at the time. And it was against Pete Dunne.
Yeah, so you look. I mean, if you look at the last two Survivor Series, the other matches weren't world title matches because world champions are always in War Games. They don't defend world titles in War Games because all the matches are short.
Besides Gunther and CM Punk, though, that's gonna happen at Survivor Series. So
I don't think so.
That'll be a world title.
I think unless you could. If you do, you want to have a 4-match card. You want to have the War Games, two other matches, and then the War Games.
They're gonna have about 5 matches.
I think I'm fine with that. The War Games matches are long as shit.
Triple H, them 3 matches in between are short. Last year, the longest match was like.
I think Gunther and Punk because they're going to be on the show and they're not going to be in War Games. And they're doing Gunther and Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia. So.
Wait. Who's gonna be the women's War Games team? It's gonna be
Damage Control.
Team Rhea versus Liv. Team Rhea versus
It's gonna be Damage Control, and probably Rhea versus the Stud Line and Liv Morgan. There you go.
The Stud.
It's gonna be Team Rhea versus Team Liv, bro. That's what it's gonna be.
What, bro? What?
I remind you of Rikishi with these bad takes.
The Stud Line is crazy. Wow.
That's what it's gonna be.
I called them the Gender Fusion Collective, but
I mean, anything can happen. I don't know. Maybe things change. Maybe they. I don't know.
The show.
But
At the show before.
Right, on that note,
can happen. I'm just saying.
On that note,
Rock gonna come back and he said, "I'm gonna face you, Cody, at WrestleMania."
And that's why I turned off my TV.
No.
And I apologize to Tony Khan.
Can you imagine? Can you? How y'all really gonna feel if he does come back and says he's gonna face Cody at WrestleMania before?
I'll say, I'm sorry, Tony Khan.
Hey, no. Hey, you know what's gonna happen? Hey, I promise you, this is what's going to happen. They're going to have a press conference for the kickoff to WrestleMania, and Roman is gonna pull a Cody and be like, no. You're fighting the OTC, nigga, and that's what's finna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
That's what you
gonna say it just like that.
Roman.
We'll see what happens. But I honestly, if because they do Cody and Rock, I can't wait for that podcast when we know what's happening. I'm talking about the week of WrestleMania. We just know it's happening. Like it's not Rock and Roman. It's Cody and Rock in the main event. I can't wait to see how people.
I'm gonna be flying AEW.
I'm so excited. And I can't wait for the podcast episode where Triple literally does what I said word for word, bar for bar again, and it's Cody Randy, and then you got to sit there and watch Cena fight. I don't know,
Gunther,
Baron Corbin. I don't know.
It might be Gunther. I mean, see, they're talking about Cena, so it might be Gunther. They're talking about that.
It's a big match. If you want to put,
it is a big match. That is a big match.
Cena got to get some wins under his belt,
and that would keep Punk and Rollins.
Wait. They sacrificed Money in the Bank this year. You think they're gonna sacrifice the Rumble winner too? What if Cena wins his Rumble, bro?
No,
it's like
he ties the record.
Not.
He's gonna be in it.
What if he's a 3-timer?
I mean, they could. I mean,
because again, if we go with my logic of Cody, Randy, Punk, Rollins, who else is gonna win the Royal Rumble?
I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
all you need is 2 real options. You don't really need the.
Cena, but Cena
a
could
bunch
be
of
up if they wanted to, if they really wanted to have like a Super Cena type push for his last run. I mean, no better way to build him up to there and to win the Rumble off rip.
Hey,
you know
because
what I mean?
if you look at the roster, if you look at the roster and the way it's stated, no disrespect to anybody, but most of the roster is filled with upper mid carders and mid carders.
Yeah.
Like right now, as they're
Yeah.
presented, right? So
Yep.
we think about guys who can possibly win the Royal Rumble. It's not going to be Sami Zayn. It's not going to be Kevin Owens. It's not going to be Jey Uso because he'll be in a tag team by that point. It's not going to be Braun Breaker because he'll probably still be holding the IC title. Not going to be Ilya. Not going to be Andrade, Melo. No, LA Knight's going to be US champ. I think he's holding that for a minute. There's nobody on the roster who genuinely you can think other than the Punk. But again, we're speaking in the sense that it's Punk Rollins at Mania. Who else is winning the Rumble?
Logan Paul, bro. That's the answer. Logan Paul.
Cut his
And on
mic.
that note-
Cut
and on
his
that
mic.
note,
Cut his
We can
mic.
end the
Cut his
show on
mic.
that note. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yes, sir.
We can
Cut
end
his
the show
mic.
on that note. I'm not gonna
Cut his
lie.
mic. He's done. He's
Coming
done.
after Gunther, bro. Logan Paul coming after Gunther, bro. He coming for you, bro.
All right.
Oh, brother.
I mean, look out.
Oh wait,
All right,
I'm
you guys.
tripping. I said Dom Mysterio versus Cena. We're getting Dom Ray 3. We're getting the rubber match, so Dom
Oh,
can finally
gosh.
get the main.
Are we?
event and retire. Because he's gonna
Yeah.
retire Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio said he wants to get retired by Dom.
Yeah, he didn't say he's ready to retire
This
now.
year?
He said he
Did
said
you
he
see
still
how
ready-
he's moving?
He said he still feel great. So
Bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You say
stem cells.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. You say you see how he's moving. I watched a quick little cut up of like one of his matches from his younger days. Bro, that left knee is cooked. That
No,
left
I
knee,
mean, but
Yeah.
as long as
that left knee is cooked.
Shut up, Nate. Shut
as
up, Nate.
long as he
Shut
gets them stem cells though, but them stem cells will be saving his life right now, bro. So if he
They
ain't
are.
had the stem cells, yeah, he'd been.
Oh, he'd have been done. He'd have been done.
Nah, but I think even now, bro, that left knee cooked, bro.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I don't think he has an ACL anymore, bro. I don't think he has an ACL anymore, bro.
Okay. Nate,
I don't
stop.
think so.
No.
I don't think so,
Nate.
bro. I don't think he has an ACL anymore, bro. I think it's gone.
I know he said
Hey,
he
more
can't
credit
bend
to
it.
G baby, you're hurting me.
All right, we're leaving. We're leaving on that.
We're done.
Oh yeah, we got to.
Make sure you guys subscribe, man. Subscribe to the pod. Be back next week for another debate. We're doing open mic next week too, man. So if you guys
Good
want
to
to
be
join the
back.
show,
Good to
pull
be
up
back.
next week.
Yeah, pull up. Hey, Kaya, since you think I got the worst takes, Kaya, you can pull up.
Yeah, he low-key kinda
Who
does sometimes.
else got a? Who else got a?
I mean,
Hey, I don't like
mean,
Brett, so I'm not the worst one.